morning, everybody. Let's go, son. Juventus Lazio about to kick off. It is a bright and early one for us right here. But we've got some exciting news. We've got Michael Cantaris and Michael LaBelle. They'll be here in just a second. Guys, let's get some score predictions early on. Real quick, let me fix this right now. Okay, I think we're looking good. What is everybody's score predictions? Hit us with that right now. I had said in our preview video, it is going to be a 3-1 win for Juventus. That's when we got the news that Immobile and all these guys were going to be out. Sebastiano, Marco, you got your haircut because you look like Rabiot? No. Are we live? We are live. Why is this game so early? It might be for the, I don't know, some people say the Chinese market. Antonio will not be coming. I'm going to say this right now. I messaged him. We sent a message in the group message yesterday. Antonio said, I will be watching this game in my bed underneath the sheets. So that's where we stand. But we've got Mike LaBelle, who will be here any second now. He's gonna text me and he's gonna walk in. And Mike Cantaris will be here in a second too. So here we go. Kickoff. 30 seconds in. Lazio, Juventus. First opportunity for Lazio. What time is it for everybody right now? Probably going to ask you a few times today. Juventus in their away kits. Kind of like them. Bright and sunny day in Rome. Let's get the lineups up here. 1 second, guys. If I'm a little slow this morning, forgive me. Ooh, opportunity for Lazio. Give me a second. Yeah, I want to hear where everybody's from right now. Where's everybody watching from? And what time is it? Probably ask you a few times today. We're gonna get our espresso soon, cappuccino. All that good stuff. All right. I got the... He'll call me when he's here. Here we go. We got Mike K.
What's up, boy? What's that over there?
Oh. That's good. Lazio with a 3-5-2, as always, as they always do.
What's up, fellas?
Pepe Reina in net. The back three is Luis Felipe, Acerbi, and Radu. The middle... 5 is Marusic on the right, Milinkovic, Savic, Cataldi, Luis Alberto, and then Fares on that left side. And then up top is Muriqi and Correa. Okay, LaBelle's pulling up. For Juventus, they are saying a 4-4-2. We'll see how. I want to look at the lineup and see which formation it actually is. Szczesny in net, Cuadrado, Demiral, Bonucci, and Danilo. The 4 in the midfield, Kulusevski on the right, Bentancur, Rabiot in the middle, Frabotta on the left, and then Morata and Ronaldo up top. Let's go, son.
So we thought Immobile.
I'm going to go open the door for LaBelle.
Yeah, Immobile's not here. Leiva's not here. Luis Alberto is here. We thought he'd be out too. But Lazio missing their top goal scorer. Lazzari's on the bench. There was a lot of doubt on Lazzari. Oh, Juve almost scored. There was a lot of doubt on Lazzari whether he was going to be healthy or not. He's on the bench. Immobile did not make the cut, though. He's not available for this game. But how are you guys feeling for this early morning? Me and Marco had to wake up like 5:30. It's New York time, 5:30 in the morning, to get here, set up all that stuff. But it's kind of fun for these early games. It offers a different dynamic. We might not be as woken up yet. We gotta wait till we get our coffee fix. But yeah, what do you guys think? If you guys like this, maybe we could do some 6:30 games more often than usual. Man. But what else? Thoughts on it's not that surprising that Dybala isn't playing, to be honest, because Morata and Ronaldo have been much more in form. And once I'm saying that, my man, the legend, Mike Lavelle is in the IFTV studios right here.
Don't tell me Pete doesn't get bro, he's
Pete's
sleeping, bro.
Pete wakes up at like noon usually.
Oh, I
gotta hide this water. I know it's not sponsored. Hold on, I'm pouring in a cup right now.
Yo, rip that tag up.
We asked Antonio if he was coming today. He said no. I will be watching this game in my bed underneath my sheets.
He's gotta be like loving life right now in Milan.
Yeah, he's every day is a celebration for this guy. He's going crazy. Any chances while I was gone? I want to see how the Juventus midfield, still Artur, not in the starting 11.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I haven't seen the starting lineup for this.
Yeah, it's a 4-4-2 for Juventus. Demiral and Bonucci in the back. In the midfield, Bentancur and Rabiot. Kulusevski on one side. Frabotta on the left. And then Morata, Ronaldo up top.
They were saying there was something with Chiesa that wasn't on the bench. That's why he's not in the lineup. He was supposed to be starting.
But Chiesa shouldn't be starting.
No, but
He
I'm
hasn't
saying
even been doing that good.
there's probably maybe some kind of problem.
I don't know. I feel like he's been
in
starting.
warm-ups.
I feel like Pirlo's been starting Chiesa to force him to play on that left side.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Now Frabotta comes back and he starts. Oof, good play from Lazio.
Nice counterattack. Marusic with bad
Lazio are
pass,
missing a
Marusic.
lot of players, by the way. Nah, it's Luis Alberto's there, Savic is there, but Cataldi is starting over Leyva.
Yeah,
Leyva's out. Immobile is not there.
Yeah, the top goal scorer, Immobile.
Yeah. Lazio have had so many COVID cases. What did they have at one point? 13?
Something like that. Around there, yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
They travel with so many like Primavera players, especially in Europe, because there were so many. Marco, someone was actually saying, "Are you surprised Dybala's not starting?" I was saying,
not really.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Morata who's scoring goals for fun.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing.
He would have, I don't know how many. Yeah, I think he had 6 or 7 goals taken away from VAR that were centimeters off, inches off.
Yeah.
So you got to play a guy that keeps scoring. And what are you going to do? Put Ronaldo down?
Yeah, exactly.
Pirlo has loved this hybrid of a 4-4-2, 3-5-2. On defense, if you watch Juventus, it's always a 4-4-2. But when they go up, it moves to a 3-5-2. So he likes those two guys building off of each other. It's usually Ronaldo that he loved to play on that left side, but now he's much more center.
Muriqi with the ball. And
Guys, where's everybody watching right now? What city are you in? And what time is it for you? Because I know for some people, I know in Asia, this is probably like prime time. You're loving this.
Rabiot counter.
Us on the
Send it
East
to
Coast
Ronaldo.
and West Coast is not the best. Come on,
in
Ronaldo.
the
Tira.
box. Oh, right
Weak
to
shot,
Pepe
weak
Reina.
shot.
All right, I've made it.
There we
So
go.
I needed like
Yeah.
splash some water. I had to wake up over there.
You gotta do what you
slap
gotta
yourself
I
do.
had to
couple
listen to you
times.
guys get into this
gotta
a
do
little
what you
bit.
gotta
What's
do.
happening, everyone that's tuning in live? I feel very tall.
You can lower
You
it.
can lower the thing.
How do we lower this?
That's my chair. That's why you feel tall.
There we go. I was gonna
How
say,
does-
I break another chair, I'm gonna feel so bad right now. I was like, chair number 2
That's
would be
funny.
done. We've got our non-sponsored water cup. If you guys want to come in with any water sponsors, we're open for business. By we're open, Marco and Mike are open for business, and I'm there to cheer them on and say, hey, come on in. Send lots of emails. Good morning. What were you gonna say? What's happening,
How is it
chat?
6:30 in the morning and your hair looks perfect?
I don't know. I actually woke up like this.
That's
So
ridiculous.
I
Yeah.
pulled
Yeah,
the
that's
Beyonce,
ridiculous.
so
Yeah,
I'm not
that's-
really sure.
I'm starting
That's
to think
ridiculous.
you don't sleep or something, Mike.
It was tough,
What
man.
time did
I
you
was
wake
like,
up, by the way?
I woke up at 5:30,
Oh, okay.
but I went to bed at 2:30.
Holy fuck. Okay.
Yeah, so it was tough.
Great sleep.
Yeah, it was a nap. It was a nap, but I'm feeling good about it. The energy is here. I don't know where it's gonna be in a couple hours, but right now it feels very good.
Yeah, you look pretty good.
I walked in, I was spraying the
Eye
eye
drops.
drops. I was dropping everywhere.
The floor's slippery, right?
Yeah.
Put a wet floor.
Wait, man said Toronto. He woke up early. I'm
Yeah.
looking at these guys. This is tough to get up this early, man. 'cause
Toronto, we're with you.
We had it for this game, you know.
I like the 7 when the games are at like 7:30. It feels
Yeah,
so
that's
much
right.
better. And then as the early game, but the 6:30 joints, I'm not mad at Antonio saying he's gonna be watching from bed.
If
Underneath the
If
sheet.
this game was earlier too, we probably would have pulled an all-nighter. Like screw it. We're late at the studio here, so.
Shant 3:40 a.m. for him.
Right.
London 11:40. London 11:40. That's a nice one. 5 p.m. in India. That's nice. Dubai 3:30. Sick.
Yeah. Yo, usually to be fair, in Asia, a lot of these people stay up to like 3, 4, even earlier. So
They always get screwed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They always get screwed.
There's no good
Even
time
earlier
zone
than
for
we do it
Asia.
now.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
Asia,
tough.
I know like a lot of the guys that great games are like, I think the derby's at like 2:30 in the morning. Imagine watching like Inter versus Milan at 2:30 in the morning.
That's tough.
It's
dude.
so weird.
Well, it's almost the West Coast is like that as well.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
of that 3 hour
3 hours
spread.
early,
Yeah,
right.
it really makes. I know we saw a couple people coming in here saying it's 3:40 in the morning for them. It's a big reason that I would.
Ooh.
I would personally not really want to be on the West Coast, ideally, just from the time gap. Because if you're keeping up
Yeah,
with
that's
footy,
annoying. You're right. 3
well-
hours, dude.
well, just
especially
your
the
normal
early
life,
games.
though. Think of
Yeah.
social media. All of us
You're
do
right.
social media together in our own right. Could you imagine you're waking up every day at 3 or 4 in
You
the
know,
morning? Because
it-
that's when life starts.
It was funny. One time I was like, it must be nice to live with Cali, live at Cali. And then I was thinking, like, oh crap, those early games I'm gonna get screwed. Never mind, New York's pretty good.
that time difference would make a massive difference because it's
sure.
a day-to-day thing as well. Oh, good build up.
Muriki,
Let's get this.
guys, cappuccini. I need my coffee fix. You guys want?
Yes, please,
Okay.
please.
All right, I'll record this.
By the way,
story while I
chat,
get this
if you
call.
guys have not dropped a like, it helps out the YouTube algorithm, and it makes Marco feel better about getting up at 5 in the morning. Marco's texting me like in the morning, "Are you coming? Are you gonna make it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm coming. I'm gonna make it. It's good. I gave you my word. I'll be here."
One thing I know about you is that if you say you're gonna come, I knew you're gonna come. And plus, I know your schedule and your hours are so random that I knew that you'd be fine.
Guys, I gotta put the grinder on for like 10 seconds.
Go for it.
When I wake up in the morning, or when I woke up this morning, all I thought about was, what would Marco do right now? And I was like, Marco would not be late. And I was like, oh no, I'm running a few minutes behind. I don't want to hear this. I'm going to get checked in on. It's not going to be good. I've got David Beckham in the Calcio. He's looking over me, and when I wake up, saying, you better show up.
Yeah, that's why we got him right there. He's just staring
He's
at
a
us.
reminder, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Have you noticed the difference in the studio, by the way?
Yeah, I like it.
That counter went the entire way.
Yeah, it's a huge change, actually.
Yeah, we knocked it down. Antonio knocked it down, actually. And half of it, so we opened it up. We just laid tiles. We're doing this. The top is sick. It's going to be some custom like artwork countertop.
No,
can't see it yet.
I'm really excited. I think everything you guys have done with the studio, I know if you're at home, you don't necessarily see every portion or every angle of the studio, but as you're walking through, at this point, everything is couchoed out, and there's been a lot of upgrades and a lot of changes.
Yeah, we put a lot of work into making it better now.
I think it'd be really cool if you started these. I don't know if it's possible if you had a camera kind of walking through it before you sit down.
Yeah, that's sick. We were looking at pictures from like how it looked like when we first came. My gosh, night and day. And now I don't know if you noticed whose jersey's in the bathroom.
I did not notice when I was walking through. My eyes were still shut. I walked through.
We put the Casano jersey inside the bathroom.
Oh, of course you did.
So we're waiting for we're gonna get Antonio's reaction to Casano. So he's probably gonna scream at us and be like, "Don't ever put Casano's jersey in the bathroom." And then I'm gonna try to flip it and be like, "No, we put it because Casano shits on everybody." I'm gonna see if it's possible.
You've got a game plan.
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
I see what you're doing.
Because Michael was like, "Yo, don't do it. He's gonna get too mad." And I was like, "All right, let me find some kind of rationale for it." By the way, LaBelle, have you been watching Juventus play this year? What have you thought?
Yes,
about Pirlo?
I mean, there's been a lot of underperforming. I mean, Lazio's kind of underperformed, I would say. I mean, they're rounding out barely being in the top 10. Which you wouldn't expect. I think it's really early for Pirlo and Juventus. There's been games that I've been happy with the result in terms
there
of
we
like,
go.
hey, this looks really beautiful. Where you're saying, I like the way that they're playing football. This looked good in the midfield. And in other games, you're saying, man, I really hope Ronaldo plays soon.
Exactly.
I don't know where you're obviously a Juventus fan, so I'm not sure your exact hot takes on everything that's been happening. But I also believe in there being a curve when you bring in a new manager, especially one that has. And please don't come at me, it's just true, but so little experience in a managerial role. I mean, we all love Pirlo. Who doesn't like Pirlo? He's one of the most beloved and iconic players, especially in Italian football, and I would say even worldwide. Like, even from a meme perspective, Pirlo and his hair, you just feel like you want to have a glass of wine with Pirlo and have a view.
It's got a wine company for that reason. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying I've been critical. I said, of course, Pirlo has zero experience. There's no There's no way around it. He's never coached the team before. So, of course, you're going to have these growing pains. And I think early on, he was trying to do too much. I mean, the guy was trying to reinvent football as we know it. He had a 3-4-3 with players didn't know where they were going. Cross in, and Ronaldo scores to open the scoring for Juventus. Of course, Cristiano Ronaldo, 1-0. Yes, great job by Cuadrado. Great job by Cuadrado. Cuadrado deserves so much more respect. Guy's a converted right back, and he's been doing so well.
Well, if you think about it, as long as you're decent on the defensive end, a lot of wingers will work well as being a fullback because you have to take on the player so much. They're involved in the attack. Great overlapping run here. Extra pass.
No offsides?
No offsides. That's a bread and butter zone. What are you going to do from the goalkeeper? Kind of no man zone.
Yeah, Pepe Reina.
Really difficult. Tough. Really difficult, especially from how close that cross is coming in. And Ronaldo makes the finish look easy.
Great job. Morata was right behind him, too. Thank you, Michael, by the way.
But Morata might have missed it. It's possible.
Easy.
Hey,
Morata's been good.
It's possible.
It's not the same Morata from Atletico and Chelsea.
Morata's always been one of the most hot and cold players, in my opinion, where he's amazing. He scores great goals, then he misses sitters, and then you're saying he's not going to show up to his big game. Oh, then he plays incredibly, and he's always been very up and down. I think the biggest, critical or the most critical area of his career, at least for me, is probably his consistency. And with a striker, a lot of times it's just what you want. You want someone consistently that's going to be able to get the goals, finish the opportunities. You've got it.
To push back on that, though, at Juventus, even in his early time, he was consistently turning off for Juventus in important matches. Out of everyone that was on the team, I don't think there's anyone. He had a stat for his Champions League. He had like the same amount of goal ratio as Del Piero for Juventus, which is incredible. He scored in Champions League final. He scored against Real Madrid in the semifinals. He constantly came up for Juventus in big moments. His wife and him, their family's from Torino. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. And even he said, he's like, just like in my life, as a footballer, I need to feel wanted in a place and feel loved. He's like, and I've grown so much, and being back at Juventus has helped me off the field, which has helped me on the field. So I think that is an aspect of football that we never look at, the human side. And I definitely agree with you. Morata, he's an emotional guy. When he's feeling good, he could do incredible things. He's in the right place. He reads the match. He'll score goals. He's got nerves of steel. But on the flip side, sometimes he will be completely gone and not there. So far at Juventus, during his time always at Juventus, he's been pretty consistent, though.
And that's where it comes down to who you ask. I don't think anybody argues against Morata's ability as a striker, but that's kind of been the Achilles heel, or the skepticism is saying, well, which Morata are you going to get?
Yeah. Fair enough.
And you're right. I like that you brought up the point in regards to, we often look at footballers and just say, go on the pitch, play the games, get results. That's what it's going to be. And we don't look at the human side of what's happening in their lives. Have they had children? Are things going positively? Are they going negatively? Oh, they had to move around a lot. And at the same time, because these guys get paid so much money, we often remove that.
Yeah, exactly.
We want results, especially from a fan's perspective. You're saying, hey, I don't really care what's happening right now. You get paid millions of dollars. Go out there, do your thing. Be prepared for the match.
Exactly.
You can't have any problems. You're not allowed to have any problems. No. You've got a great life.
Exactly. No, I agree with that. There was even a video that was going around in my group chats of Dembele. He rejected some fans in a car. And my friends who are from a fan perspective, oh, what an asshole he is. Why? But at the same time, the guy's freaking driving his car. He does not have to be on and doesn't owe, in my opinion, anybody anything. Everybody's allowed to have these bad days, and you don't have to. He signed up to play football at the end of the day. He did not sign up for fame and for you're not able to go for a walk in public without being bothered. So I usually push back on that, and I'm like, all right, some fans just go absolutely crazy, but it is an aspect that we forget about sometimes.
I think it's really difficult to make the argument on those things, 'cause now you feel like everything's on online as well. Everybody has a phone. They capture every moment of every action that you have, good, bad, or indifferent. And then what if you have all these amazing choices that you've made, and then that's not captured for once or whatnot? So it can go either way.
Correa with the shot. Oof. I think it took a big deflection. I like to see Demiral in the starting lineup. I'm happy to see him give a go. Chiellini's just been... Chiellini and Ramsey... No, he's onside. Ronaldo's onside. Chiellini, again, Chiellini and Ramsey injured. Ramsey's going to be out for 45 to 60 days. I've been saying for a long time, since the beginning, Ramsey's not a Juventus player.
I didn't like that signing at all.
It makes zero sense.
I was shocked that he went because I felt like he was on the second path of his career, so he's no longer in his prime when he went to Juventus. So I was saying, well, why would he go to Juventus, or why would Juventus this be maybe a first choice for them? I was really surprised by that move initially.
And it has not worked out. I know some people, they like his technical ability. You could get one good game from him, and then once he starts understanding the system, the guy gets hurt. I mean, the amount of muscle injuries that he gets is incredible. And him and Chiellini are both guys, and as much as you hate to hear it, Chiellini cannot be relied on anymore as Juventus. He is not somebody that you could say, all right, he's going to be starting games for us. We know what he's going to bring to the... No. Chiellini needs to be looked at as a bonus. Anything you get out of him will be extra towards the season, but you need to plan the season without him. It's got to be Bonucci, De Ligt, Demiral, these guys, and then whatever you get from Chiellini is a plus. Ramsey's just gone.
It's hard to rely on Chiellini. He is older. He gave more than enough and more years than he had in him, I feel like, and now he's just a little bit more fragile. Every time he gets injured, he doesn't come back as strong, and then he gets injured again. There's always a little something. But, He was at Juve for so long. He gave 100% every time. You just gotta start finding new options, which they do. They have De Ligt and Demiral, who are gonna be the future for Juventus. So I do feel like they have a good core for the future for them. So I don't think they should be too worried about that in the defense side of view.
Still hurt from De Ligt not being back yet.
Yeah, that's true.
He'll be back after international break. Him and Alexandro. And I think, LaBelle was asking what we thought about Juventus. For me, I think everybody's exaggerated a little bit over Juventus. Oh, opportunity for Lazio. Oh, is that Muriqi? I think Muriqi missed it.
He's got to get a touch onto that. Yeah, I don't think anybody's making the argument that Juventus has played amazing. I'm not hearing that on social media at all. But I do think that it's really easy to be harsh, especially when you have a bunch of different new aspects or new dynamics. Not only managerial-wise as well. There's new players that have been added, different formations, different play styles. You're shifting a culture to a certain degree. And when you have a culture shift, there's going to be a learning curve. And a lot of people, especially if you're a Juventus fan, you want it now. You're not trying to wait. You're looking to top the tables, as you do. You want to have Champions League results, as you do. You want to have all these things right here, right now. Because it's not a club that's based around patience at this moment or at this time period. You're looking to win. You don't buy Cristiano Ronaldo to be a second rate or to not go far in the Champions League, not to win the Scudetto every year. Like, there's certain expectations, I would say, from a club perspective, just from the financial investment.
But at the same time, I think that it's also the expectations of some fans that's the reason why that everybody's disappointed. I mean, you signed a coach that's never coached before. If you didn't expect issues, if you didn't expect growing pains, then it's on you that you did not expect it. Of course, and I think that Pirlo, obviously, he's learning his own way of how he wants to play, how he wants to coach. It's going to be a learning process. And I think that every Juventus fan, you kind of need to understand and be like, hey, you've won 9 Scudetti in a row. You've won 9 league titles in a row. If you don't win this 10th, it's not the end of the world. Because for 8, maybe 6 out of the 9 years, all Juventus have done has been putting Band-Aids on a squad instead of trying to build something and have a system and play consistent and really grow a style. It's been, all right, let's buy this player. All right, then we forget somebody in the midfield. Ronaldo, just buy Ronaldo, buy Higuain, put these guys there and see what happens, and it has not worked. So if you have to take a step back and say, okay, now we're going to grow our young players. We're going to grow our core. We're going to grow a different style. I'm very okay with that, and I think a lot of Juventus fans need to accept that that's what's going to happen.
I still think you guys are going to have success. I don't think this is going to be a fall-off year. I mean, if you look at it, too, from the standings, you're ahead of most of the big clubs have kind of underperformed.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Milan's sitting up top, but I would be very surprised, and Antonio wouldn't like this, if Milan is able to keep that form up all season long. Just from a depth perspective, and then also you have ups and downs. You're going to face adversity. It's very rare that any club in any league is consistently amazing throughout the entire season.
Who goes a decade with winning?
Yeah,
there's very few clubs in the world that do a decade of just winning. So, you have to have some perspective. Like, God, you're not going to always win. There's going to be these problems. Even Allegri in one of his years, Juventus were, I think, 14 or 15 points off first place. They were very far behind. So, again, I think there's been overreaction. Also, if Morata puts the ball in and is not offsides, I mean, they have so many more points. You beat Barcelona, and everything looks amazing.
It's still early on this year. We're acting like there's not.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
6 games in.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, we can easily judge game to game, but I mean, I'm an Everton supporter, right? We started the year amazing, and we haven't looked good the last couple of weeks at all. So it's a long season.
And you started really well, right?
Yes, I don't want to talk about it.
Let me get an Instagram story real quick.
Oh yeah, perfect.
All right, guys. 6:30 in the morning right here. We've got Mike LaBelle. We've got Michael, another Michael. We are live for Juventus Lazio. Guys, swipe up and join us. Let's see what we got on deck. We've got cappuccino.
Let's go, boys.
I think you need another one.
I need another one. It's good morning. It's tough, man. My eyes are hurting.
Guys, swipe up and come join us. The chat is ready.
By the way, chat, who do you guys support? Who are your footy teams? Who's your squad in the Serie A? Talk to us a little bit about that. We need to wake up this chat, man. We interact with these guys. We got up early in the morning. They're up early in the morning. We need to pass over some atmosphere, some ambiance, some vibes. And if you've been playing the weekend league on a side note, I don't know how many FIFA fans we have in here. Then I know you've been sweating. I know you've been sweating this weekend. I have seen all over social the emotional roller coaster that is known as the weekend league.
How tough is it than the last FIFA and stuff? Is it sweatier?
It's always going to be a battle.
Yeah.
EA just implemented a new patch that I really preferred the previous gameplay to the new patch. It's shifted a little closer to FIFA 20 in some different ways.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of people do not want to see a replay of FIFA 20, but we're also. What do we get, guys? A week away from the PS5. We're going to have a new game then. I'm sure that EA put a lot of their resources into the next-gen version of FIFA.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of question marks in many ways. But let's see what we got in the chat. We've got Inter, Liverpool, Juventus.
Catanzaro. Don't forget Catanzaro.
4-2-3-1 is the best formation. Actually, I would say Sean Duffy post this newest patch, I think having 2 strikers is really beneficial in a lot of different ways. So I think you'll see a lot of 4-4-2, a lot of 4-2-2-2. I've even seen some 4-3-3s in action to go with the 4-2-3-1. But there's more varying formations with FIFA post-patch. Manchester City, AC Milan. Also, if you guys have not slapped a like on the stream, everything's on YouTube, right?
Yep.
If y'all have not
YouTube, Twitter.
Yeah. I know you guys multi-stream on everything all at once.
Yeah.
All right. If you guys have not liked the video or the live stream, look at me. I'm looking at you. You're then looking back at me, and now I'm looking at you. I'm telling you to do this to hook it up for the boys. It's free. Costs you $0, zero anything actually.
It's true.
If you enjoy the stream, it's a great way to get it out to more people. Just the way that YouTube often works, where they're saying, okay, where do we need to be promoting? What accounts do we need to back? It's like, oh, these Italian football TV boys, they're working hard, man. And that might be the...
Boost them up, right?
Yeah, that might be the opener for YouTube to say, oh, we need to promote these guys a little bit more. We need to put them maybe on a front page, put them into the sports. Oh, we've got these people from different places all around the world, and they're tuning into one broadcast. Why? What's happening here? That's the back end. For you guys that don't know how it works, sometimes the likes and the comments and the algorithm plays into that, and how often people are watching, and of course how many viewers and so forth and so on. They never look at the Twitch chat. I mean, they got a lot open on this one computer.
No, we have our.
I'm just saying that I'm looking. There's a lot of tabs that are on display.
So this chat, look, you see how that has a Facebook logo? That comment's coming from Facebook. So these are YouTube. Look,
It's all
Twitch.
different social
Look,
medias.
Dem Petropoulos, Juve. He
must
just
be
commented
Greek.
on Twitch, Twitter, everything. Everything comes in the same chat. So if we're not responding to a Twitch comment, maybe the comment we just can't respond to it or something.
See, I believe this as well. Vinny Merck says pretty soon IFTV will have their own TV station. I think you're gonna have your own show. I mean, you technically have your own show here, but I actually believe that you guys will get a great opportunity with a big network that says, look, we don't want to build out maybe Italian football. Who are the guys that we should be turning to? Who's already doing this right now? Who's already built up an audience? Who has a devoted group? And I could see them saying, look, we just want to improve your show or upgrade your show or put money behind it. And we'd love to buy the ensemble, to buy the collective, to buy the group. Just keep doing what you're doing, but we want to help, escalate it in any different way that we can. I could see that happening. I don't know if there's any talks behind the scenes. if you want to give us some paper talk.
I mean,
give us some paper talk. Be like, good morning.
I mean, it sounds like you were lining us up for something, but no, nothing.
I don't
yet,
know
but-
anything more than anybody else. I just, I'm over here stirring the pot. I'm gonna need so much. I think I'm gonna end up with 4 of these today. Is what I'm predicting.
Let me make you another one. You finish that?
Please.
Wow. I'll go.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
just
throwing
started.
these down. Marco looks 21 again. It's
got a
tough.
haircut.
It's tough though when you're next to Mike. Like every time, if you're sitting next to Mike, you can't look 21. You're aging because you got Mike next to you.
Yeah, I know. He looks like a kid.
But then again, if you went out with him to a bar, you're gonna get ID'd everywhere. So maybe it does bring you down in age as well.
Michael gets very mad. So usually our thing is, Mike usually asks, "Oh, what's our age, right?" So one time, this girl that asked, she's like, "Oh, like you guys both look like 25, right?" And I was like, "Oh, wow, you got it spot on." Michael got so mad. He's like, "Wait a second, I look the same age as him?" He's like, "I do not look 25." He's like, "He looks like 28. I look 21." And we always get mad. But sometimes you get like, "Oh, you're his older brother," or we actually have a joke. Yeah, you're the older brother. His brother, I actually saw him this weekend out, and we have a joke that him and I are brothers. So we rolled with that while we were out the other night. We both, I think we kind of look like each other a little bit more than Michael and his brother look like each other.
I never met Michael's brother.
You never met his brother?
Do we have a picture?
Let's
Do we have a
see.
screenshot?
Yeah, we should.
What do you have going on?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring the years back myself. Oof, big opportunity.
Well, let's not talk about
I'm shaving the mustache now. Like I'm trying to bring the years back.
Why?
I'm telling you, I was getting my facial hair was looking kind of dirty. But yeah, they're saying IFTV and Sky Sports, ESPN. See, this is what I'm saying. And this is a big if, and maybe I have the bias that we're all friends, and I obviously like the show, and I feel really lucky that you guys invite me over to hang out. But thank you, sir, as I'm just going to kill the coffee gang.
That's his brother.
Oh, right. Actually, Spencer Owen vibes a little bit.
Kinda.
Yeah.
He's got darker features than Michael.
Yeah. How old is he?
I think he's your age.
How old's your brother?
Look, here's his. This is hair. 33? 32.
You had to think about it. Nice.
Nah, I show you a picture with his mask on. Doesn't have that many pictures, but
Wait, no, we got to get back to the good stuff
Yeah.
this morning. All right, ESPN, Sky Sports, you guys are listening. All right, we need a recap show. We need the match preview show. We need the pundits. We need the back and forth. Put Antonio on there. Could you imagine Antonio on ESPN?
I know. The thing is, he loves his call outs. Like he will literally, if somebody says the wrong thing, he's gonna go off on them.
It would be fantastic.
I know. They would love him.
I would love if they had think about it, a minute with Antonio. You gave him like a subject and you said just go. But you had it like maybe
A rant.
Antonio's rant. It wasn't scripted, but he knew what the rant was at least gonna be on. He's like, Antonio, we're coming to you. This is what you're gonna talk about. Do it in a minute, and then Antonio just erupts, and then goes fishing.
I like it.
Antonio likes
He'll
fishing.
be that guy, the basketball guy. I keep forgetting his name on ESPN.
Stephen A.
Stephen A. Smith. He'd be the
Cheers.
Stephen
Yeah,
A. Smith
he would.
of
He
culture.
would be.
Cheers, guys.
By the
I
way,
don't know if
Michael.
it's good or bad luck.
Michael,
Cheers, coffee.
great job.
You don't want to do it in water.
Great job with the cappuccino.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, the guy makes it so much better than me.
He's just saying that so I can keep making them. This guy.
No,
he's
I mean,
he's
I'll
smart.
make them.
Mark,
How are we
he's
doing?
smart.
Pull this up on YouTube. How are we doing right now? What's our viewership like? What's going down? We got people over here slapping love on the videos. What's going down? We need to talk to these folks. Guys, we could do better. I see 130 likes. We could do better, man. Today's one of those days that we should be in like we're going to be on stream for what? 4 or 5 hours totality, committed, 4 coffees deep. You guys want to see this get picked up by ESPN. You want to see this get picked up by Sky Sports. They need to see what's happening. They need to see what they're missing out on right now.
We've got Atalanta Inter coming on after this.
That's gonna be a good. Mike, what's your thought on Atalanta Inter?
Both of them have been very underperforming this year.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't.
Yeah.
I think they
right.
both need this game more than
we-
than a lot of the
Yeah,
clubs right now in
that's
Serie A.
true.
Atalanta has looked really dodgy, especially defensively. They've conceded a lot of goals in some of the games.
And they came off a big, heavy defeat against Liverpool in the Champions League.
And then Inter's a weird one because we talk about it. They have on paper a really great team. And they actually have a lot of depth as well. They have a lot of players that have international success, a lot of players that, of course, came from the Premier League, which it makes it where I still think the measuring point, and correct me if I'm wrong, is probably still the Premier League. People look there first for a lot of players. It's the most
Especially
watched league.
Conte's football.
Yeah,
Because he likes physical players, and there's no doubt that Premier League, they're much more physical. They're adapt to the game that's at a quicker pace. That's what Conte loves.
I think Inter's been really underperforming.
Yeah, big
time.
I don't think anyone would argue against that. I wish Pete was here. Maybe we get him phone in to tell us about his Inter side. But I think both teams really need it. I'd like to see Atalanta of the old. It sounds funny saying that because we're talking about a club that's really blown up just over the last couple of years.
Exactly.
But this year, I feel like they haven't had the same type of prolific attack. They also made a lot more defensive errors. A lot of things have been wrong, and when in the games that they've lost, at least a couple of them, you're saying, I can't believe this is a team that we're talking about battling for a top 4 placement.
Yeah, you know a lot. You've been watching.
Yeah, of course.
You know your stuff.
That was a very good analysis of Inter, especially their defense. That's been the biggest thing is the defense this year versus the defense last year. Last year, Inter had like the best defense in the league. This year, they're conceding goals like
crazy.
Well, I was talking about Atalanta during a lot of that, but still, I have been watching.
But you did say about Inter.
Yeah.
But Atalanta is the same thing too.
Yeah.
They've also been conceding goals. Like it's conceded 5 against Liverpool.
Well, I was gonna say it's all
And 4 against
it always
Napoli.
comes down to the same C word, and not the C word you lovely gents are thinking about, but consistency.
I was
Yeah,
thinking
that's
You
the
know,
one
but
that
I'm
we're
saying
going
like you can't have a game where you play you win 1-0 and the next game you give up 4 or 5 goals.
Yeah.
You're questioning everything. You're saying, what's going on? Do we not have organization?
That's
Do we not have
true.
structure? Where this is too big of from the left to the right. Like
It's
you
too
gotta have
extreme. It's back and forth.
you just can't have that if you want to be a top club. You got to win a lot of the ugly games too, which
Exactly.
I've always talked about. Every season, every team that has success, does not matter the league, they got games where it's easy on the eyes, and we talk about their build-up and the tiki-taka and the intricacies, and at the same time, you've got those matchups where it's like, it's like playing in mud.
Yeah.
Nobody's moving. It's not fluid. It's very stagnant, and those guys get results still.
Those were the points matter.
Those are the Marco
Yeah.
games, as we like to say.
That's Juventus of the past 9 years. Literally, they've
Squeeze in results, baby.
Squeeze
somehow,
the results where the
even when
matches
they play
where you
horrible,
could have dropped points. You could have easily dropped
even
points.
when they
to get
won't
the
create
win.
a chance, they'll somehow
Yeah.
be able to score, and that's why they've won the Scudetto. I mean, the Scudetto is won by the team that's able to pick up points
Against the
in
smaller
the
teams,
in the games that are small. You know, there are top teams, and you know, we often
Oh boy!
bad giveaway for
Lazio
Juventus.
counterattack. Savage shot.
Good job, Bonucci.
Corner.
Bravo, Bonucci. You know, sometimes you get those teams that they're only motivated when you play a big team. You play a Juventus, you play a Milan. You're like, all right, I'm on. And then the next week you'll drop points to Crotone. But guess what? You get the same amount of points if you beat Crotone as if you beat Juventus.
That's true.
It's 3 points either way. And there's a lot more of the Crotone sides than there are of the Juventus. And I think that that's what Juve has done best over the years. Oh, great shot by
what a
Ronaldo.
shot.
Just wide.
I think that's been the biggest surprise this season, actually, with Juventus, to drop points versus, and I don't want to be a negative guy, but guys that or clubs that don't necessarily even finish in the top 10, right? Or they just expected. A lot of people would say, "Oh, this is a sure thing. This is an easy win."
Verona tie,
Why are we
Crotone
drawing
tie.
here? Why exactly? That's not something we're accustomed to really discussing. Oof.
I don't like Muriqi. I don't think he does enough.
I expect him to be better. There was a lot of hype about him.
Bro, this is your opportunity with Immobile out, and the way that he's playing right now is not good. I've not been excited by this signing at all.
I was excited when he signed because I heard good stuff about him, but he hasn't.
he has not done.
He hasn't done enough.
Listen, if you're a bench player and the guy in front of you gets hurt,
If you're a bench player, let
He's
him
a bench
know.
player.
Oh,
No,
he's a rotation player.
It's just a
Rotation
funny way
player.
of saying it.
if you're a bench player
Nobody
and the
wants
guy
to
in
be
front of
like,
you gets hurt,
my name is
That's
Marco.
me.
I'm the bench player. Let me know. That's
So
what
coach,
I do.
what position do you play? Well, I'm a bench player.
So what does that mean? It's like, well, if everybody else is not playing, they call on me.
But I'm usually a bench player.
Yeah, but
I get.
otherwise, me and the bench, we're very well situated. We're on the same
You're
page.
making me sound bad right now. See, I get hate because listen, I say things that are right, but I say them in like such a
No,
mean
it's correct.
fashion.
No,
like I say it wrong.
Everything you said is right.
you
but it's
say
just
it
funny
wrong.
'cause
I say it very
uncut.
harsh. It's harsh.
It's like if
harsh.
somebody says they play the guitar. It's like, oh, that guy plays the guitar. You're like, he plays the bench. It's like, okay, him and the bench. They know each other.
Yeah, left
They got
bench.
a relationship.
Okay. Having said
Good
that.
morning.
Having said
The
that.
coffee's starting to kick in.
Yeah, there we go.
It's always the second one, right?
So, having said that,
What part of the bench does he play? Can you
left
let us
bench,
know?
left bench, actually,
left
yeah,
bench.
yeah,
Okay.
left center bench, yeah. So, but if the guy in front of you, Immobile, who scored, Capo Canoniere, lead goal scorer, gets hurt, it should fuel you to say, oh, this is my opportunity to show the coach, hey, when this guy's not here, I have the opportunity to come in. If he's not performing one match, 60th minute, 70th minute, you could count on me. I'm going to step in. Not this. That's how I see a lot of these guys, and I know we've even seen it with Italy, and that's what I've been really happy with. Before Italy, the Italian national team, a lot of the guys who were just, quote unquote starters of the team that had their place, they were very happy with where they were. Italy, Mancini revitalized the team saying, hey, young players are going to play too. You pop them in and the guys are dying on the field to try to play. That's how it should be. Like, nobody's place is guaranteed, and you should make that as complicated for the team as possible. And you could see a lot of those players who were not starters who popped in because when they got that opportunity, and the opportunity usually presents itself, they grabbed it with both hands.
Chat, I want you to comment on this. I'm going to issue a question because I think what you're describing here is a lot of times there's a lot of entitlement, even more so with players when they sign for big contracts. Because then they're saying, look, you've invested in me, so I'm going to be here regardless, and they lose that killer edge. It's always been something that we've actually brought up with American soccer. Don't hate me for the S word, fellas, in the chat. I know we've got mostly all football, but if you're not
talking about the same thing,
yeah, it's the same thing. But if you're not familiar with our development program, a lot of people always question, saying, "Well, why are we not better? Why are Americans not better at soccer, especially across the quantity or just from a generalization standpoint? Why are we not better across the board?" We have all these amazing athletes, which is proven throughout our sports. We're clearly dedicated.
A lot of
We're so
population.
diverse.
Yeah, but think of the NBA, think of the American football.
Baseball, right?
And you name it. You could pick any other sport, basically.
Yeah.
And we have so many people, and we have every resource you could ask for. Why are we not better? And a big reason is because of entitlement. In order to play soccer here, and all of us have experienced this. I don't know about Mike as much, actually, but you and I have experienced this. It's very expensive to get started and play. It is so difficult. And I don't know if it's shifting now because I'm a little bit older, but it is so difficult to play at a high level if you don't come from an affluent background, which it should never be. The reason that they were so good in other sports is because this is their only way out a lot of times.
Exactly.
This is like, I want to get out of the hood. I want out of this. I'm in a low income. I want to put on for my family. I'm putting everything into this. And it's never about how much money you make. Can you afford trainers? It's like, no, you go and do this. We're going to supply this for you. We'll get you to events. We'll get you to these types of weekend tournaments or showcases. And we'll work on the development side. And it's so much set up as a business in the U.S. And it's sad because I remember even growing up, I would have to sometimes take off multiple years because my parents were just simply like, we don't know that you're going to be a pro athlete or something. Why we can't invest this type of money for a 10-year-old. Or for a 12-year-old, for a 13, whatever. So you'd have to take off, go play rec, which was almost free.
Yeah,
cheap.
Exactly. I was just gonna say that.
And then you come back,
and it's a dad that's coaching that doesn't know. The guy knows.
So your
less
development
about
is gonna be killed.
Even
if you're watching the sport, you're gonna get killed. You're playing at a slower pace now. I don't want to say it's a secondary, but it's not a tier 1 sport in the U.S. compared to, once again, basketball or American
is secondary.
Football.
We could say it.
100%, dude. It's behind basketball.
Now it's
American
growing.
Football, even baseball, dude.
Growing
it's probably
up,
a third or fourth.
Well, it's growing right now. It's the quickest growing sport in the U.S. as well.
Definitely, but it's still. I would say I still put it behind those sports in America.
When I was growing up, there was only 2 types of people who played soccer, who played football. You were either the weird kid that like randomly played soccer, or you were the son or daughter of an immigrant or an immigrant yourself. Like growing up where I was, those were the only people who played soccer. And when you were saying reasons, I was like, oh, come on, finish, Ronaldo. Oh, hit the crossbar. Hits the post.
My
Shit,
goodness.
Ronaldo.
Man, that was in the bread and butter. Lazio defensively has looked kind of dodgy.
Juve's been
what's
looking good
kind of
defensively,
suspect.
too.
What's so sad about that, though, about that fact of how it is in America, is that if you think about, our families or where they came from, at least, my dad grew up without shoes to be playing. He had one pair of shoes that he wore all year. It was the sport of the poor. That's why football is the greatest sport in the world. It was a sport of the poor. All you need is a ball.
It should never be about who can
You
pay
don't
for
even need
what.
a ball.
And then also the same thing. You got guys that are a lot of people that are maybe not chasing the dream of being a pro player. I just remember even like I played a lot of high levels of soccer growing up. And out of the grouping, a lot of those guys played in college, but the goal was never even to go pro, to get to the MLS, to have this dream of maybe going to Europe. That wasn't part of the equation. And then people wonder, well, why don't we have more talent? Why aren't we building into it? And the desire is not there. You have to live this, breathe this, be ready to die for it if you want a chance of being one of the best players in the world. You're competitive and your commitment has to be through the roof. And the fact that we have a barrier of entry that's based on finances is disrespectful to the sport, to the fans, to the people that want to play at a high level. I hate that as a barrier of entry. It should just never exist. I could go on and on this if it's not if it's not clear, because it just doesn't make any sense. It's against everything that's authentic to the game. Because it should never be about who can afford to play.
And you know what's crazy to me? It's like, think about America. The diversity here is insane. You can find people from, even in New York, from countries all around the world. We should have a super team. Like, you should literally have the best, the Italian, the Brazilian, the English. Everyone. Like, it should be the greatest melting pot of ideas, philosophies, and all this together. But somehow it doesn't work. Like, if you think about it realistically, it's like building a super team. Let's get the best of everybody who comes here. You're American, you grew up over here, but still with those same philosophies and traditions. It sucks that it's not like that. For me, the biggest thing is the expense. I think a couple $1,000 to play on like a decent team.
Yeah, like we need to explain to them as well, because you're just saying, well, all you need is a pitch and a ball, right? Sure, in theory, but you're not going to play in any tournaments. You're not going to travel. You're not going to get the opportunity.
You're not getting a coach that
You're not going to get
knows.
the look. You're not going to get the look. You don't get the development. There's a lot of keys that are really important here. So yeah, you can go play with your friends on a pitch. That's great. But if you're trying to be a pro, or if you're trying to play at a collegiate level, if you're trying to get into an academy, you won't get noticed like that, regardless of your ability. And then one of the first questions they're going to ask is, cool, are you ready to write a check?
Robert just said it. He said it's the same here in Australia. Elite youth clubs charge $2,500 to $4,000 a year to play. That's how it was, at least for me.
No, it's unbelievable. Like, I didn't grow up like with a family that was from an affluent background. So it's just, you're sitting here and you're trying to do math. Like, what can you guys actually afford? But it shouldn't be. That should never come into the equation of, hey, can you actually afford to play the sport that you love?
And at a good level.
At a good level.
Again, we're not. Oh, Kulusevski's taken down right on top of the box.
Kick outside the box.
Great job, Kulusevski.
What a run.
The way he burst past is just beautiful. And that's also one reason I like to play a lot of sports. Like, I tried baseball, I tried American football, I tried everything. And I remember I wanted to try lacrosse.
None of the other sports, by the way, have the same barrier.
Yeah, it's very different.
Because I play basketball at a high level. A lot of you guys that follow me know this. Other ones maybe not so much. Well, welcome. In basketball, if you had potential, and they're talking even in middle school, they found a way for you to get to every event, every tournament. There were sponsors, brands involved, coaches. Yeah. They would work with you too. You want to get up early on Saturday. Somebody's ready to work you out. You had this for nothing.
That was but that was more American though. That's why it took longer for the U.S.
Well, they're just invested. Everybody from basketball, they don't come from money. I'm sorry, a lot of the guys didn't sit here. We can't afford. If you made it where you had to pay to get like training, nobody's playing.
Yeah, exactly.
They'd be like, nah, I'll see you on Saturday at 8 a.m. or whatever. I'm going to pull up where we're going.
Exactly.
It's more developed, though. Basketball's more developed than soccer in the U.S., though.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
It's as simple as that. Yeah.
And that's why I had wanted to try lacrosse.
Oh, that one's expensive.
I wanted to try to...
Hockey
The expense on lacrosse was ridiculous.
But that's also that's like almost looked at as a... As a rich person's
sport. When I was growing up, I didn't know it. I just heard lacrosse. I like 12 years old, and I was like, "Wow, that sounds like a lot of fun."
Yeah.
The cost of that's why football became so big.
Ronaldo.
Pepe
Reina with the save.
He didn't hit the wall, which is great.
Yeah.
All right, halftime over here. 1-0 Juventus.
Oh, wow.
Lazio have not looked good enough. Lazio have not looked good enough at home.
I feel like Juve's defense really kept them at bay. Lazio really didn't have too many.
I don't think it's Juventus' defense. I think it's Muriqi and Lazio's attack that's keeping themselves at bay.
Well, they were in dangerous areas. You saw Lazio in the final third on multiple occasions. They didn't find the last pass.
Milinkovic-Savic, yes. On the header back, is that the one you're talking about?
No. I'm saying they had multiple times of being in the final third, but they didn't find the last pass or the last step over, or the little movement, or the wiggle to work, the feint, something to open up a really clear chance. We didn't see clear chances, but they're in the right area on multiple occasions. And I think Lazio's lucky to go into halftime to not be down by at least another goal.
Can I tell you why that is, though, that they're getting those chances, but not the final one? It's because their midfield is so good. One thing that I was on the Bianco Celesti broadcast, the podcast, where we're talking about this, and I said if you gave Juventus,
I was going to say Lazio has a better midfield than Juventus.
They went through each position, and when they got to midfield, I said, do not even ask me this question because it's insulting to even try to compare the Juventus midfield to the Lazio midfield.
Well, you have a lot of guys that are, I'd say, more closer to being world class and also in peaks of their careers.
Savic, Luis Alberto are so much better than anybody in Juventus. If you gave this midfield to Juventus, the team would be a squad. Now, that's a great team. Their midfield creates so many opportunities for their attack, whereas Juventus' midfield creates no opportunities for their attack. So, if you gave the attacker Juventus to Lazio too, they would be scoring so many goals right now because they're building up to that point. But Correa and Muriqi are doing nothing up top.
Yeah, that's true.
Savic to me has always been one of the most underrated and just a player that's not talked about nearly enough. Actually, chat. So you guys obviously watch a lot of football in general. A lot of y'all watch Serie A pretty heavily. You're fans of different clubs. Who do you guys feel are the most underrated players in Serie A?
All right, let's do this.
I think it'll be really interesting from the chat to see who they pull up. It doesn't matter what position, doesn't matter what club. And I'd even say with the Serie A in particular, and I'm guilty of this myself as well, when you're watching all these highlights and stuff, you often overlook and you don't maybe see some of the clubs that have really great, talented players, or individuals that are in the bottom 5 or even sometimes outside of the top 10. As a club, they might not be amazing, but they do have some really up-and-coming talent, or they have certain individuals that really shine, even though, like I said, the club maybe doesn't have the collective, doesn't have the same type of squad, which also kind of come down to finances. Serie A's got a big separation between the guys that spend money in terms of organizations, and then the organizations that just don't have money to spend.
Okay, I have 2 names. Now I'm gonna give a reason why I have 2 names. I have one name that's not underrated for people that watch Serie A, but one player that's the most underrated player in Europe, in the world. And I want to hear, you know him, but Barella. Barella is the most underrated player in Europe. If this guy played for Liverpool, he'd be regarded as the best center midfielder in the world. He is simply amazing. He's one of the most important players for Inter. When he plays, Inter's a completely different team. Barella is incredible, and he's been consistent for so long. He's talented. He's an engine, box to box. He's got that mix that I love. Juventus, they have a lot of players that run, but they got no brains. Barella has brains and brass. You know, he could go into challenges. He never stops 90 minutes. That's my guy for Europe. My guy for Serie A is De Paul. Rodrigo De Paul is the most underrated player in Serie A. Not enough people talk about him. He should not be on Udinese. It is a crime that De Paul, with all the talent that he has, is on Udinese.
He's a good example of someone that's playing for a club that's not performing well, that is definitely a standout performer on that club. And without him, they would look a lot different. I would actually say, and it might be a really well-known player at this point, just because of the success that Atalanta's had, but I think Papu Gomez, if you saw him, the same thing you brought up, if he was on Liverpool or if he was on Manchester City, I mean, he might battle for some playing time actually on those clubs because they have players that are maybe a little more similar. But if he was on a club
Man
that
United.
gets all the mainstream, Manchester United, man, I would think even someone like Barcelona or Real Madrid maybe could find a space for him. It's weird because they have players that are maybe similar in some regards, but I don't know that they're better or more in form at this point. But he would get so much different looks compared to being at Atalanta, because if you're not a Serie A fan, you're just a football supporter, you see Atalanta in the results often, but you might not be following them heavily. They're not the same tier 1 club as an Inter or a Milan or Juventus. We're talking about history of the club and the success throughout the Serie A and then also internationally. So a lot of people overlook Atalanta and say, oh, what a beautiful underdog story. We're happy for these guys, but they're not having success accidentally, even though this season hasn't started the same way. It's not a coincidence that they've been successful the past few seasons. It's because of certain players being able to fill those roles, and then offensively they've been so gifted. But without Papu Gomez, I think of them not being the same team.
100%.
Not nearly as creative. He's a maestro. He orchestrates that attack. He plays all the instruments.
How many alarms you got, Mike?
Yeah, I have a lot.
Good morning.
Take your
Good
old
morning,
other ones
right?
off.
I have a lot.
You got
of
like
them.
4 of them.
Yeah,
But
much more coming.
I really rate his game, and I think that Papu Gomez is someone that definitely gets looked at. It's not like
Great
people
shout.
don't know who he is,
Great
but
shout.
I do believe that you'd be arguing with this guy being really special if he was at a different club, even a different club,
Even in Juventus.
I was gonna say even in Serie A, a different club in the Serie A,
Yeah.
because he's at Atalanta. A lot of times, I feel like he doesn't get focused
100%.
on. He's not brought up as a spotlight player.
Yeah,
good
Papu,
trail.
especially
Good shout.
outside of Serie A. Like, for the most part, if you're a Serie A fan, you've been knowing about Papu Gomez, how good he's been. But outside, I feel like people are starting to take notice of how good Papu Gomez is. Especially, he seems like a late bloomer too. And
Who's your player, Mike?
I had
You
a
didn't
few
give a name.
names, to be honest.
Give
My
us
first one was probably Castrovilli from Fiorentina. He's already having an amazing season. He kind of sprouted his name from last season. He cemented himself as the starting lineup last season. And I think he's going to be one of the better Italian prospects for the future of Calcio. And this season, he already surpassed his goals from all of last season. He already has 4 goals in 6 games. I think last season he only had 2 or 3 goals. So I think he's very underrated, and I can't see him staying at Fiorentina too much longer because I feel like a top team is going to get him really soon. And he's been incredible.
Last year was also his first year in Serie A.
That's true.
Like, how many players
That's
come to
true.
Serie A in their first year and play that well?
and cement themselves as a starter. And mid-table team Fiorentina is not like they're
Below
fighting for
mid-table.
relegation.
Below
Okay,
mid-table, which is
maybe-
even harder.
Yeah, I guess. You
They're
can
all,
argue
they're, all,
that.
they're about mid-table.
Last year?
Yeah,
What did
last
they
year
finish?
was bad.
They,
Last
they
year
got
was
to
a
10th,
little
and like the last
bad.
couple of games, somehow they got to
No,
10th.
last year was bad.
They were
Last
pretty
year was
lucky
bad.
to get mid-table.
Yeah. But overall, yeah, Castrovilli, I think he's even though some people are taking notice of him, I feel like a lot of people outside of Serie A don't even know his name or barely know about him. But I feel like this season he's gonna make his name even bigger, and I feel like he's gonna go to a top club for sure.
Can we do overrated?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
I'm not done stirring this conversation.
Yeah, me neither.
If you guys have enjoyed this chat, let us know. We're gonna switch up here. We're gonna go overrated. So players that maybe they're household names or they have a big reputation, but really they haven't performed up to that certain level.
I got an entire
feel
list.
like I was gonna
I
say
got an
this
entire
might
list.
just be a Marco feature. I'll just back away. Mike and Mike, we can go make another call.
No.
And we'll just leave Marco to it. But chat, let us know who's most overrated, and also we're at halftime right now. If you haven't slapped some love on the stream, please drop a like, get something going down, interact with us. This is a great little halftime show. I feel like people don't even talk about this time.
No, I agree.
We don't even we get on TV. They're so politically correct now. We don't even get to talk about players that are performing well, guys that are really aren't where you thought they were gonna be, and that happens all the time. You get new signings and stuff doesn't work out. I've got somebody for this list, but I don't want to say the word overrated for me. I just want him to go somewhere else. But go ahead. I'm just gonna say like he's not getting what I think he's. I like his level, but go ahead, Marco. Give us.
By the way,
go on a rant, please.
I wanna. There's an amazing comment from Vinny. Mike, listen to this. He's saying Spezia's club motto: "Eat or get ate."
I like that.
Do you know why?
No.
This is why it gets
You
even
have
better.
a picture?
Show him. Show him. They're
Is he fishing with a shark?
This is an intelligent IQ very high on this one. When you
Very high.
very high. This is very good. You got it. So their jerseys have something on it that this makes it just perfect.
This is the jerseys. Their sponsors.
They've got a fork and knife.
Got
Vinny,
it.
I really like that.
It says
Vinny.
food and beverage. By the way, food and beverage. Not even Italian. Just
Eat
says
or
food
get
and,
ate. That's
food and
so
beverage.
good. That would actually make it like more acceptable if they came out and owned it.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
if they won a game and they
Yeah.
put eat or get ate and then zoomed into their sponsor, that would make it so funny.
That'd be hilarious.
Oh,
That's a
Vinny,
good-
I'm trying to trigger you with Varela. No, come on, man.
I mean, I have so many names.
Yeah, go ahead, get us started here. Chat, let us know. Overrated players, Serie A, guys that you're like, not this guy again. He's been letting us down. We're disappointed, et cetera, et cetera. What are your guys that we need to be focusing on?
I mean, I don't know. I think now nobody really rates Bernadeschi anymore, so I can't say it. I mean, last year I went on a rampage against him. Everybody knows that. Nobody rates him anymore. Rabiot, still people are rating somehow, some way. I don't know what that guy's done to do that. Bentancur is another one. Ramsey. I mean, they're not
This guy's
too
named the
rated.
whole
They're not
Juve
rated.
squad.
They're not rated too highly, I would say. I have one that's on the edge, and I pushed against him last year, and this year he's not done great. And again, it's not his fault. I think he's a good player, but some people make him seem like he's a top player. Lautaro Martinez. I think that, especially this year, has been very poor. His mind, he's not consistent enough, and he's not smart enough. He constantly makes the wrong decision. I've used this example before, but Lautaro, if he had a door, Mike, you got to stop those alarms, bro.
Why do you have so
just
many
go
alarms?
Can you just
What's
go to your
so
app?
important to
That's
you?
my last
Stop
one.
swiping right and left right now on the stream. They're not going to text you back this early. They are not going to reply. It's too early.
I'm those guys that have like 55 alarms just to make sure. I usually wake up on the
Every
first
time
or
this guy gets a
second.
match. Woo. Alarm.
No, it's
Priority here.
alarm clock.
You're here
Alarm
with the
clock.
boys, all right?
Alarm clock.
Alarm
What
clock.
time is it? It's
clock.
like 7 in the morning.
7:30.
7:30 in the morning. I'm telling you, they're not swiping right now on a Sunday. They're gonna go to brunch.
Alarm
They don't
clock.
even get up till brunch. They want mimosas, Mike. Mimosas.
So
You gotta turn that shit off.
I say Lautaro. Yeah, just
by
go
the
into
way,
your app
that
and turn it
goal,
off, bro.
that the flick.
Barella.
Oh
that was
my
Barella's
goodness.
assist.
Oh, I know. Oh.
Unbelievable.
My heart went through my chest on that.
So
I'm not
good.
even a supporter of that, but it was just gorgeous.
So good.
If you like football, it was so beautiful. You know, it made me want to swipe for Mike, right? You know, it was such
Mike-
a good flick.
Mike's getting a
Start
lot of
swiping.
love. People are saying that they do the same thing. They have a bunch of
Yeah,
alarm
oh
clocks.
really? You have alarms for your messages and matches this early in the
Yo, he's
morning?
got alarm clock.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Alarm clock, good.
Those are
they're
alarms.
sold on it.
Those
Good,
are
good.
alarms for him to check the gap.
Okay. I know. That's why he's keeping it far. I can't really see, so he just says it's an alarm clock.
And Mike, leave the girls alone. That's what I'm saying. Hey, drop
That's
a
what Sean
like
said.
on the stream to support Mike and his quest for swipes
I
left and
appreciate
right.
it, guys.
super likes, whatever the hell they're doing.
Every
swiping up on everything.
Every swipe counts.
Yeah. Swipe up, swipe down, swipe left, swipe right. Like the video. You're welcome.
Oh man.
All right, overrated. I don't like
Lautaro.
Kolarov. I don't like him. I'm not a big fan at the moment. I think that he's past his best time.
I would agree.
Someone I just want to see at a different club. I don't think he's overrated.
Yeah,
but
I wanna hear
if
this.
you're an Inter supporter, you're going to argue that he might be overrated. I love Eriksen. Every time we do this, I talk about him. I really rate Eriksen. I think that he's world class. His vision is there. He's one of those floating center mids, which is a little different than what we're used to, almost Pirlo-esque in some ways, where you can have him sitting a little bit deeper and just spray it around. He's got that ability, and he does not fit what Conte wants, surely. They don't use him. He's not a super physical player either. He's very much a technician, and I just hate him on Inter Milan. I hate him. I feel like he's wasting his career right now. They bring him on as a super sub, but he's just not that type of player. He's someone that feels out of game and really finds his moments. Like, you don't bring him on to bring life and excitement. That's just not. He's kind of one of those guys that floats, and he's able to have a certain rhythm. And if he's just telling a story, he's dancing and you're dancing and you're looking for. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like that's what football's about, right?
The way that you explain things is
Right?
incredible. He would love Ludovico. He would love Ludovico.
Anyways, I don't think he's overrated. But I feel like a lot of people will say that he's been overrated, especially if you didn't watch Premier League heavy.
Yeah.
Now he comes to the Serie A, you got all this hype, big signing.
And he's been horrible.
This guy that, you're saying, oh, at Tottenham he was such a great player, all these assists, these difference makers, he's feeding this guy, he's feeding that guy, and then what's like, what's happening?
It's horrible.
Yeah.
And then I'm telling you, bringing him on as a super sub and this really slow, very structured. I would love for Inter to play differently, if that's
Never
not
gonna
clear.
happen. Never
Yeah,
gonna happen.
maybe I would like for them to play a little bit differently, but I really rate Eriksen,
He'll
and
never
it
change.
hurts me as a fan of him and really believing in him to see the approach or how he's being used. I just know it's not going to work.
100%. There was something well said out of Italy. I don't remember which former coach or player, it might have been Capello, who said Eriksen is not fitting for Conte because Eriksen's the type that if it's 4-0 that they're winning or if it's 4-0 that they're losing, he's going to play the same way. He's walking, he's jogging out there, he's having a good time. He doesn't bring that intensity and fire that Conte needs out of his players. Not to say it's right or wrong.
He wants out of his
100%.
players.
No,
That's not
100%.
consistent with his career.
Exactly.
Like, he's not a stuck in type of
Exactly.
player. You talk about loving a box to box.
Exactly.
Eriksen's really not a box to box.
Yeah,
He's
the
kind
complete
of finds
opposite.
his pockets and
Exactly.
And so what do you guys think in the chat?
He's not
actually?
running
Let's-
back. He's staying there. He's sending those passes. and
People
then
agree with
that's
you. I mean,
about it.
I just want to know, like, do you guys where do you fall with the
I'm
Eriksen
making another
debate?
espresso.
Oh, yeah, another one. Okay.
Not cappuccino. I'm making espresso.
All right. I'd love to know because I think a lot of Inter supporters would say I've been disappointed.
No,
and
100%.
it's fair enough that they'd be
He's
disappointed.
He's not even a starter. He's a sub. He's pretty much. He comes in the last 50. A majority
But
that he's been at Inter. He's been playing
He's
the last
not a
10, 15
Muriel
minutes.
though. Like there's certain players
No,
that you know are going to
100%,
be guys that
100%.
change games
He
in
doesn't.
late
He doesn't
situations.
fit. He doesn't fit Conte's tactics. He doesn't fit Conte's formation, and he's not a Conte player at the end of the day. He didn't want him. He was mostly brought because seemed like a good deal, and he was brought in January to try to win the Scudetto late on. But he hasn't been fitting, and there's a lot of reports that he's most likely going to leave in January.
Good.
Eriksen's not happy. Conte's not happy with him, so there's no. Probably back to
into
the Premier League. Yeah, where's he
please.
gonna go?
I'll take him at
I don't
Everton.
know. I'm sure he'll go. He'll fit better in there than Serie A.
The chat, a couple guys, stop yelling. I'm sorry, I'm passionate. The coffee is hitting. And now we got we got a little background noise.
Yeah. So now the second half is coming. I think the Lazio need to bring in Caicedo for Muriqi or Correa. Probably, I don't know. Both of them have been pretty invisible. But probably Muriqi because they're the same kind of player. Caicedo has been on fire lately, so I feel like if he comes in, he could grab the equalizer for them. But let's see. He's probably gonna wait 10-15 minutes.
Wait, didn't Caicedo come off on the bench and score against Juventus last match?
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. He actually came and he scored against Juventus last game that they played. Caicedo came in as a sub and scored. He also scored the winner against Torino. It was crazy because Torino was winning. Then the 93rd minute, they scored the equalizer, Milinkovic-Savic. Then the 98th minute, Caicedo scored the winner, which was crazy. So Caicedo, I think he 100% he is gonna come on. They're chasing a goal, and they need that finisher in the final third. That's what
Well, that's what
Lazio
you're
are
looking
missing.
for too when you're talking about substitutes and especially a super sub. Is that you want something that at least gives you a new dynamic to the match, changes the pace of the game a little bit, and that's where I'll stress, and I'll talk about Eriksen again. Is just he's not that type of player, and I feel in that role in particular, you don't even get to see what he's good at. He's not gifted. He's never been gifted at that at any point of his career. Oof, what a ball.
Juve already attacking over here. Kulusevski with the shot. Oh, wow. Lazio got away with it with their defense on that one.
A lot of the chat actually says Eriksen going to Milan would be interesting, but Eriksen needs to go back to the Prem. I agree. I would love to see him. I know a couple of you guys said James and Eriksen as a combination play.
Oh, you're getting excited over here.
I mean, if I can start
don't get
manifesting,
I don't know.
I'll happily manifest
That might be a tough one, I get, but you never know. You never know.
We've made some pretty good signings. I mean, getting Alon was huge. Decore's been solid. James has been solid.
That's true. You're right. You never know. And you don't think he'll go back to the Spurs? You think he fits back there, or you think his place is taken?
I think it's not that I don't think he could fit there. I just think his time is done with
up there?
Tottenham.
Okay.
I don't think he'll go back to Tottenham. I can't. If I was Eriksen, I'd be concerned staying in the Serie A because it's gone so poorly for him, and he hasn't got a real look to kind of get into his own flow.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And his storytelling, his narrative. This feels like it's been a waste for his career, in my opinion.
100%.
If anything, his stock has dropped. It's definitely not increased. It's not even stayed even.
For sure.
A lot of
Definitely
people,
dropped.
especially if you're watching the Premier League heavy, you would say that Eriksen is a world-class
The
player.
thing is, everyone was saying, "Oh, he's gonna take Serie A by storm. He's gonna be so." I didn't know too much about him. I mean, I knew of him, but I didn't know too much of his playing style. So I was kind of disappointed. But I do feel like the majority is Conte. He's very strict with how he plays, and he doesn't change for anyone, regardless of who the players you have. He's not gonna fit it towards his players, even though he said in the past he always plays at 3-5-2. Ooh, what the shot, Juve. And I'm kind of disappointed with Conte couldn't fit in a very good player like Eriksen.
I mean, the short recap is at Tottenham, they haven't had as much depth, but they've had a lot of success. You've seen the outbreak seasons of the likes of a Harry Kane or of a Sonaldo when you're looking at Son,
Son.
or even Lucas. And those guys at the end of the day are an amazing attacking group, but they need someone to feed them.
Exactly.
And Eriksen's always had that, and he's really good at set pieces, both scoring and passing and facilitating. And a lot of people just had a major expectation, myself included, when they made the signing. I'm saying, okay, this is great. He's going to be such an asset, and he just doesn't end up playing. It looks like a manager that didn't want him.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
It's also funny that they signed him. They begged to sign him in January, right? For 20 million, when they could have had him for free in June, and they barely even used him from January to June. I feel like there was some. I don't think Conte wanted Eriksen.
Conte wanted Vidal in January.
I think
instead of Eriksen.
I think Inter as a club said we have this opportunity to get a world-class player for a very cheap price. Conte, whether you agree with it or not, you're gonna have to try to get this guy into your lineup.
Yeah,
he's too good of an opportunity for us.
Definitely wasn't.
And Conte, in his stubborn ways, is not very good at adapting and building the game around it. That's what I personally think.
Lazio with attack.
Oof.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Almost sneaked in. No changes at halftime?
I don't believe so. I can double check.
I agree with your analysis. With Caicedo should come in.
Yeah,
he's so much better than Muriqi.
100%.
So much better than Muriqi.
I mean, just change the speed of the game, change the feel a little bit.
You need someone.
Understand Serie A lot better too.
Yep.
Wow, close, very close.
I'm disappointed in the chat right now. I feel like they could have done a lot better dropping likes for you, Mike. I'm just trying to get you on the swipes. I'm tired of hearing your alarms and your notifications.
Guys, look how close I was.
Yeah, that was closer
so
than I thought.
close.
Marusic just bent it almost top corner. Szczesny was rooted.
If we play the game that we did on Bianco Celesti broadcast that I did, each position you choose. You say Juventus or Lazio. Let's do it. I'll do it with you guys. Goalkeeper.
Szczesny.
Yeah, Szczesny.
Defense.
Juventus
or Lazio?
I think Juventus.
We're gonna do whole?
I think Juventus wins the majority of the defense.
Okay.
I mean, I like Luis Felipe. I like Acerbi. But then if you have someone like De Ligt and Demiral and Chiellini and Bonucci, probably
Choose.
Juve.
Juve?
Yeah.
Mike, Juve.
I think Juve overall on the defense, but I'd take Juve on defense.
That's
I mean,
a
this
tough-
game's
that's a
probably
tough
helping
one.
us with that as well at the moment. The defense is looked a little bit better.
The
on
Lazio
Juventus
fans
side.
on their side, they even agreed with the defense. I said Juventus defense.
I
they
think the
agreed.
midfield's really obvious. It's pretty much across the board for Lazio.
midfield, Mike, obviously.
Because you have Leyva, even though he's not playing in this, Luis Alberto, and then Savic.
Even Cataldi and Parola are not bad when they come in. They're really, I'm not gonna say I would prefer them over Rabiot and Bentancur, but as backups, they're not bad.
Yeah,
as
as
backup
backups,
players, as
yeah.
bench players, as I would have said, they're not bad. And
As
attack,
non-starters.
and in attack, this is where we all had the disagreement: Juventus's attack or Lazio's attack.
Juve.
So obviously Ronaldo's getting one of those spots. Are we doing 3 attackers?
No, you
No,
have to just
just a
choose
whole
either
one.
Juventus or
Yeah.
either Lazio.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. So
Do
like
it.
you've got Immobile obviously with Lazio, but if you're gonna go Dybala and and Ronaldo pretty much take
And
it for
Morata.
Juventus. Yeah, I think it's really difficult. I mean, they have Cristiano. How can you not? He's such an X factor. They're gonna win the attack.
I had to put them. Also, I think the depth of Juventus' attack is.
It's much more than
If you include
Lazio.
Kulusevski, Chiesa, Morata, Ronaldo, Dybala,
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody right now, but that's a crazy deep attack.
Yeah.
I just think it's better.
Yeah.
I mean, just having a Cristiano factor. It's kind of like when you talk about Barcelona and they're attacking. You got Messi. It's like, all right, Barcelona.
You're in. Yeah, I agree.
It's
I
really
agree.
difficult to argue above that when you have these 2 guys that are just so much better than everyone over the course of their career. When you bring up attacks, you say, okay, you're talking Barcelona, okay, they got Messi. You're talking Juventus, they have Cristiano. Same when Cristiano was at Real Madrid, it was the same story. It's like you have this X factor that is able to change games even if you're not playing well.
Great ball. Lazio in attack. Savic has it. Lazio are pushing it. I feel like it's a lot of possession based, but they're still fighting hard for that final ball to get that goal in. I think they're gonna have to bring in guys.
He jinxed them, cursed at the commentator.
Seriously, Marusic.
But I can't stress enough. If I would do crazy things to have that Lazio midfield. at
How
Juventus.
crazy?
Crazy.
Yeah, can we
Crazy.
get like an example?
I-
What will Marco do?
Nah, I don't want to.
Jail time stuff.
Like, are you
right?
pulling
Not-
up to one of the 24-hour massage spots at
Oh,
4 a.m.? Like, what are we doing, Marco?
I'm not gonna say no. All right, but give me Savic,
Oh, there they
Luis
are.
Alberto, and Leyva, and we could talk.
If you don't understand that reference, it's definitely a New York City reference. Not now. It's a little bit different with everything that's happened around the world with the pandemic. But we have a bunch of foot massage places in New York City that are open 24/7. Now, first off, I don't know anyone who gets their feet massaged. Secondly, I know 0 people that do this at 3 a.m. So I'm not sure what's going on in that business.
You haven't
but
been
it
to
is not-
Bensonhurst, bro.
It is not foot massaging.
You have not been to Bensonhurst, Brooklyn.
No, I have
Yeah,
not.
you have it, bro. We'll drive past there at like 1 o'clock in the morning. You'll see what kind of people are there.
Maybe Manny Petty's or something. I think.
Oh yeah, Manny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, talk to your boys. Ask them, hey, you ever got a foot massage? The answer's gonna be no. And then you ask them, do you know anybody has gotten one at 3 or 4 in the morning? The answer's gonna be no.
It's probably the best time to get that. That's when your skin is really like active. Or something.
Then again, you hear his alarms. He's got alarms.
Is that what the alarms
Yeah,
are
the
for,
alarms
Mike?
are actually for him to go get a massage.
A foot massage.
MV said, Mike, it's every city.
What's up?
Oh, my bad. I didn't know it was every city.
No.
It's not every city in the U.S. This like foot massage movement is definitely New York based in the United States. Like you can't just pull up anywhere and get a foot massage.
Andrea said, we have these foot massage places here in Milano, too.
What's up with the quotes? I don't
And
understand.
Sebastiano said, foot massages, only ears.
Only ears.
Yeah, no.
I can go for a nice ear
Wow,
massage.
it's a very good question. HTKO said, Marco, would you give up Dybala to sign Barella?
HTKO.
Wow.
Wow, what a name.
I don't think so.
I wish
I
I had
still,
that name.
Just from a marketing
My-
perspective, it's so hard to get rid of.
I
somebody
know
like
my
Dybala.
my heart says no, but in my brain, I mean, Barella would make Juventus a way better team, like a way better team. But it's hard to let go of Dybala. That's a great debate though.
That really, if anything, that shows how much you rate Barella.
I really like Barella. He's crazy good.
He's good.
He's
I mean,
crazy
to trade
good.
for Dybala, that is a you
Yeah,
put
it's
this
very
guy
hard.
in.
He's probably
yeah,
Dazzurri's
for most
best
people,
midfielder.
that's not going to be an argument.
Midfielder.
I've even said for Pogba in the past that I wouldn't have given up Dybala for Pogba.
When Barella's healthy, I think, yeah, he's probably the
Barella,
best.
is he 20? Is he 24, 25?
Yeah, I think 23, 24.
He's 23.
Yeah.
Yo, he is so good, man. He's so good.
Yo, did you see that
I
assist
just love-
he gave against Real Madrid?
I can't stand stupid players. Like, I have a thing against stupid players. Like, there's so many stupid players on Juventus in their midfield that just make brain-dead decisions. And when you've got a guy who has the brains, but also he's still an engine and goes up and down and fights for 90 minutes for the jersey, it's so rare these days. I think it's so rare to have a guy that, like, will die for the shirt, but also is capable of having a high football IQ. And that's how I see Barella. At least so far, last year and this year, he's been incredible. Very lucky that he's Italian.
Uh-oh. Right around the edge of the box. Do you rate Correa? I've always liked this game.
He's all right.
He's kind of invisible sometimes, man. So he's either hot or cold for me.
He was about to explode, and then he just never did. Like, he was so close. I thought he was going to become that next big player. He never did.
He you know who he reminds me of? Keita Balde.
Yeah, very much. Very similar.
Very similar player and how their careers
And now
went.
where's Keita Balde?
What?
Where's Keita Balde now?
He's at Sampdoria. Nah.
Keita Balde was on the verge of signing for Juventus at one point.
Dude, he was a
Really?
beast.
Yeah, he was on the. He was like hours away from signing for Juventus.
Just like Correa, so fast. Like, he has great dribbling, but hot or cold, man. He's not consistent. That's the biggest factor, dude.
It's not because it's not just about the talent. You know, like they have the talent, but they can't keep it up.
What's a mix of consistency? I would say mentality, which is something that you keep bringing up. Depending on your position, IQ. But you are right to bring that up. It is a surprise of how many guys that have had successful careers that do not take into consideration game management, understanding scenarios and situations. They really rely on their athleticism or just their raw ability as opposed to their decision making.
Let's talk about Ibra
100%.
being 39 years old and
100%.
still one of the best strikers over here.
Unbelievable.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And he's great interception by Rabiot. Wow, he read the play. Very good. I mean, I know you love Zlatan. I know you watch a lot more Serie A now that Zlatan is here. Tell me about his. Wow.
Oh, I thought that went through his hands.
That was the best play I've ever seen Rabiot do on Juventus.
All right.
Won the ball.
All right.
Took a hard shot.
Oh, what a pick out from Cristiano.
Tira.
Wow, they let him turn.
Tira.
Oh my, there's like 5 guys on him.
Nice. Come on, Kulusevski.
Oh, that was so dangerous. I thought you were gonna get the second.
I need a Mike LaBelle moment for Zlatan Ibrahimovic right now. I need a Mike LaBelle
I
moment.
mean, what can Zlatan not do? I mean, he is kind of ageless in a certain regard. I mean, we've talked about it many times, and I'll keep this on repeat. No matter where he's gone at any point in his career, all he does is score goals. He's as proven as they come. There's no one that has more self-belief than Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Right? Yeah.
And probably one of the most, if not the most quotable football players we'll see in our lifetime. In our years, I don't think there's somebody that has more moments throughout all the years, too. Doesn't matter if he was young, in the middle of his career, in the prime, or even late stage. He still drops absolute gems. And I've said this before, and I'd happily be on record. I think he's one of the greatest strikers of all time, and that we would have put him into a different class and category from the masses
if it wasn't that.
if
era.
it wasn't for him being in the Cristiano and the Messi era. I just don't, because I think that overshadows how special, how spectacular, how unique. Because this is a guy that's 6'4", 6'5", but has the touch and the skills and the creativity of you pick a number 10. Some of the things that Zlatan's done is unbelievable on the pitch, and he has this natural coordination as well because he's so good with is it karate or taekwondo?
Yeah.
But you see it. You can tell when he scores, he reaches his leg back here, he hits a bicycle kick, and he also attempts shots from areas that nobody else does.
Remember
He
that
attempts
England
flicks,
bicycle
of course.
kick?
But nobody has that in their arsenal. I was trying to
true.
think when he
Right.
scored that against England,
He's so acrobatic.
I was thinking, what other player in the world would even attempt something like that? There's only one other guy that I think is maybe crazy enough that has the ability. It's probably Cristiano.
But he's not even that daring as Zlatan.
I didn't say he's as daring, but I'm trying to
Yeah.
think who else could actually score
That's
this
true.
goal or would have enough confidence to go
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah.
And maybe just Cristiano.
Now I have a question for you. Zlatan is 39. If he keeps this pace up, we all know Cristiano's and keeps his body. You know, he's probably one of the most invested athlete towards his body than anyone. How far could Ronaldo go? Well, to what age? If Zlatan's doing this at 39, how far could Ronaldo go?
I think this comes down to more of a will to continually play at the highest level.
Which we think he all has, right?
Well, whenever that's no longer there, you have an issue.
Okay.
I don't. It's kind of. We can even bring this back to basketball with like someone such as LeBron James.
Or Jordan.
Well, more so I'd say even actually maybe LeBron. LeBron's played really late into his career, still putting up incredible statistics. They just won an NBA championship, but he has the desire to win. He has the desire to still play the game. When you're looking at the likes of a Ronaldo or a Messi or an Ibrahimovic, especially when you've got a big body, so even if you slow down, Ibra's not nearly as fast as he once was. His fatigue seems noticeable at times, especially late game. He'll still score a worldie of a goal.
Exactly.
But he is not running and doing all the legwork that he might have done 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Which is why it's great that Milan has such a young core.
Exactly. They do a lot of the running for him.
You see Lau just running around in the match. Like,
Well, you can see him directing too sometimes. He was like, over there, please go. Especially late game.
Yeah.
Post 70th minute, you're not getting active feet from Zlatan. But when you're dealing with players that are especially got good size, such as a Cristiano and a Zlatan, and can be unorthodox and still pivot their careers. Because if we look at especially Cristiano, when he first started, he was this winger that was extremely fancy, not necessarily that efficient, but so gifted from a technical standpoint and an athleticism standpoint and building into his career. He probably dribbled too much. And
Way
then,
too much.
I think most people would say that at United. He went to Real Madrid, and then he started to cater his game a little bit more. He got more efficient. He maybe cut out some of the additional stepovers in order to beat the guy quickly.
100%.
He got better at drawing the fouls and kind of building into even being more of a striker as opposed to being a winger. We saw him transfer roles. And now at Juventus, I would almost consider him, I mean, he's still Cristiano, but he plays more of a traditional striker role.
Well, there's a great interview with him where he talks about being at Manchester United. And we all know he had that flair. There was always those videos going around. And a lot of people didn't like him because he used to do those chops. You know, he overdid the chops. And then he said when he went to Real Madrid, he realized that football is not what he thought it was. He thought football was about this flair. I got to embarrass the guy. I got to dribble him. He said football is about scoring goals. And I realized at Real Madrid, I just need to go closer to goal and put the ball in the back of the net. Dribbling out on the wide, yes, it does help my team, but it doesn't help my team as much as my goal-scoring ability helps my team. So he cut that out, stopped acting more as a winger, and more going towards goal and just trying to score, and he completely changed as a player.
And Real Madrid became his team. When he was at Manchester United throughout many of those years as he's developing, you're talking about some living legends that he's playing with. And at United, when that's the case, it's hard to come into that locker room. You're the young guy and command a role. They're like, look, go play on the wing, do your thing, pass me the ball back. Stop being so fancy. You know, we're going to deliver it, make a cut inside, be creative, lay it off for somebody. You got to think that they've had so many arguments. I haven't seen this come out, but I'm just envisioning some of these halftime talks being like, yeah, I don't like this Cristiano. I'm really not feeling these extra touches. You know who we are right now.
Well,
give the ball back to daddy. Where's Antonio at?
Okay. We interviewed Giuseppe Rossi, who played for Manchester United, and he told us a story about how one time Ryan Giggs, he kicked the shit out of Ronaldo during training one time because Ronaldo was trying to do too many fancy moves, and he hit him really hard. I wish I could. I'm going to try to find the timestamp.
Or if you're scolded or something, you're like, bro, give me the ball. What are you doing?
I got to try to find the exact timestamp. But it was so funny to hear that. And we knew, I mean, you kind of knew that.
Well, these are some of the world's greatest midfielders. They've had a ton of success. And you're coming in as this Portuguese guy, and you're filling a role into the team. They don't know that you're going to become the next big thing. And they're saying, why are you doing all these extra touches? Keep the game simple. And at the same time, the Premier League is still all about mastering intangibles, and it's very direct. It's a fast-paced game. All these added intricacies that we add into football to make it look beautiful sometimes are a little more visually stimulating. Yeah. It still comes secondary to the basics. If you can't complete a pass,
that's true.
What value do you have? You can't move your feet. If you're not structured, you don't know how to jockey. You don't understand triangle passing and support runs and build-up play.
Yeah, I get that. Mike, I had a question for you with the Zlatan talk. You said you put him in the same tier as Messi and Ronaldo or slightly below?
I think that he should be. He's not better. I don't think anybody's going to argue that he's at the same level as a Cristiano or a Messi. But I think that he's in a similar category in terms of what he's able to do on the pitch. I really do. But I don't know. Like these two guys, we're talking instant top 5 best players or greatest players of all time.
Juve 3-on-2 right now.
He's got to finish it. Oh,
nice block. Luis Felipe goes out for a corner. But do you put Zlatan not winning a Champions League, would that lower his status, or do you think?
Well,
What's your take
I think
on
the
that?
hardest thing with Ibra is probably that he's not the easiest guy to play with. Obviously, I've never been in the locker room, but not only the pressure, but you can tell that Ibra always looks slightly angry when he's playing. Think about it.
He
Just
demands
imagine.
a lot, you're saying,
Yeah, he
with the
demands a
ball?
lot. He's not. If Ibra has a bad game, nothing happens. If you have a bad game, Ibra's gonna slap you about at halftime or after the game.
Okay.
Or maybe he's gonna put you into the media. I don't know. He's definitely someone that. He always has his stats. He always has his numbers. He's always been able to be a player that makes a difference regardless of the club.
Okay.
But I don't know that he'd be the 10 out of 10 teammate rating.
Okay.
But at the same time, when you have that competitive drive, it works.
gets the
Milan,
best out of you.
Milan is overachieved.
Yeah, 100%.
So far,
100%.
since Ibrahimovic is joined, it's unbelievable. The entire club.
There's a stat for that. Since he came, he collected the most points than any other Serie A team. That says more than enough.
That's one, and that's a counter argument. It obviously is working perfectly for Milan, but I also feel that Milan didn't have this belief.
They
Ibra
didn't.
brings this certain aura
100%.
and ambiance.
Milan are a young team, dude.
He's just
the majority.
Ibra's oozing of confidence.
Yeah.
And if you're missing that, or if you're missing competitive drive, which Ibra has always had, I think it fits for them, and that's why you're seeing a lot of these results. Because from a talent perspective, they had a lot of guys that were talented, but if you're not on the same page, if you're not working as one unit, if you're not cohesive, it's an issue, and especially with consistency. If some games you're motivated, some games you're not, you bring this up. You have to get results not only versus the clubs that are outside the top 10, but the guys that are right next to you. You got to be motivated the same way for every single matchup.
Exactly.
And I feel that Ibra often finds that motivation because he cares about his legacy. His personal legacy, he cares about too much to just not show up to games.
Ooh.
Really, the build-up play from Lazio is not bad at all.
But the second half, they've been kind of asleep. You've been playing better this the second half.
Smart from Bentancur. I tried to find the video. There's a 15-minute. I'll find it.
What do you guys think in the chat? Was Zlatan Ibrahimovic, where does he rank for you? Maybe all-time players? What category? What tier? Because we're debating this. We're talking about it. I don't think that he's a top 5 player of all time. I don't think that he's in the Messi and Ronaldo category. I'm just. This is my opinion. I don't think that he's in that same tier. But I do think he is one of those guys that should probably go down as one of the greatest strikers of all time. I don't know where you're going to rank him. I'd have to think about this a little bit.
Ronaldo dancing in the box.
Dangerous location as well with the delivery. Yeah. And I think that he's so unique and just so unorthodox in many ways. You're not going to see players like Ibra. In my lifetime or in our lifetime, we might never see another player like Ibra. And I'm not talking about just off the pitch. I'm talking about his actual ability and the things that he's been able to accomplish, what he's been able to showcase. He has so many memorable goals as well.
For sure.
And you just don't make players like that. Who's up and coming that you can say, oh, this guy even can slightly resemble Ibra? The only guy that I can think of. Well, no,
kind of reminds me of him.
I was gonna say maybe
he's more as a winger.
Maybe a primetime Edin Dzeko. Another really big body, pretty good with his footwork. He's not an Ibra.
He's a similar body type and kind of striker,
Well, and
but not as
he's got-
acrobatic as Ibra.
No, but
yeah.
he's got quick feet. He can
Yeah.
finish.
He's got a great. I always think
He's
about.
efficient. He's very efficient.
Someone said Holland.
That's not a
It's a
bad
good shout.
shout. That's not bad.
It's a good shot. Again, the acrobatics is a little bit different, but
Holland needs some more of the tricks and flicks.
Yeah,
He's
a
gonna
little
be
bit.
in the Ibra category.
a little
It's
bit.
crazy just for his size. What he does with his body is
Yeah,
incredible.
anybody that's like really big but still's got like such good feet.
Correa! In the box. Oh, wow, corner. Jesus, he ran into Bonucci there.
I want to see. I feel like this game's calling for Dybala.
Harry Kane, absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Guys, we're here for 2 matches live. All right, live.
Yes, sir.
High energy, high octane. We're moving and grooving like Correa running down the end line.
I think Peter's still asleep. By the way, he didn't respond to our message.
Yeah, did we call? Can I FaceTime him in?
He probably wants to sleep through that match. I feel like he might be a little nervous for that game. That game could go either way. The Atalanta-Inter game. I can either see Inter winning, Atalanta winning, or a draw. I think any scenario is possible in that
It's
game.
crazy. Ryan is going to come by for the match. Ryan woke up for this game, our boy Ryan. But Peter, the Inter fan, he's going to wake up the last second right before it.
Yeah, bro.
There we go. That's good. It's good.
So.
Ow. I think this match, Pirlo needs a substitution now. The one thing about Pirlo, I feel like he's not been reading games well.
I support this. I have an idea. Michael versus LaBelle in FIFA, except LaBelle has to take 3 shots before. I don't think 3 shots will make it competitive. I think I need more. Mike, you have been voted the least valuable player between all the IFTV boys in FIFA. That's what I've been seeing all over social.
What do you mean in FIFA?
Yep,
I'm
in
not
FIFA.
That, maybe in FIFA 21, I'm not that good, to be honest. In FIFA 20, I was pretty decent, I'd say.
Yeah, FIFA 20, you did good. To be honest, now we haven't played in like a month
dude, yeah, for real.
because we've been very busy.
Yeah.
I know. I
We
see you
haven't
guys
played.
working.
Yeah, we've been really busy.
Yeah, if you guys appreciate the grind, once again, drop a subscription. Drop some love on the streams. You guys have been putting out a lot of content.
Yeah. we
Crazy amounts of content.
Yeah.
Across a lot of platforms too. If you guys don't follow on Twitter, if you don't follow on IG, if you're missing something or on
Yeah,
YouTube,
it's everywhere.
it is a lot of content daily.
There's so much football. Like there's literally a game
crazy.
almost every day.
It's
We
so
barely have one.
jam-packed.
Like we barely have one day that's not packed. So you'll appreciate this. We've been off the FIFA grind. I won the last FIFA God
And then you
tournament.
retired. Of course you did.
The thing is, you're going to say
yeah,
more?
I'm gonna
Oh,
say.
okay.
No, so Michael and I that was like when we were streaming, like we were getting into it. We were very excited with FIFA 21. Did the tournament, smacked everybody, boom, win. Now our boys, like nobody had FIFA 21 yet. It was like the first time that we've all played FIFA 21. And now one of the hardest guys, he got FIFA 21, and his girlfriend's been sending me Snapchats of him playing till like 3:00 in the morning. Like she said, the worst thing I did was buy FIFA 21. She put it in her apartment. She's like, he will not talk to me. He's not doing anything. All he's doing is playing FIFA. He's been messaging our group every single week. Guys, FIFA tournament. Guys, FIFA tournament. Michael and I have been backing out like, oh, yeah, we're busy. We're doing construction. We're streaming. We're really... Because we know we're going to get smacked if we let him come in
Absolutely.
after practicing for an entire month every single day. We know we're going to get killed. And I got her as my little informant, so I know that he's still practicing like crazy. And it's hilarious that he's going for it. The good thing that we have going is everybody else in the group has not been playing. So we're all in agreement to not play right now. So he's the only one who's pushing. So we're kind of bitching out. But
I'm open to playing them. I'm just saying.
You're open to playing him?
I'm open to playing.
You're
them.
going to smack him.
That's what I'm talking about.
You'll smack him. That won't be funny.
Mike, what's your weekend league record, by the way?
At the moment, I'm 14-1.
What was the last one?
I'm really actually disappointed. Last weekend, I ran out of gas at the end. I started 21-0. And I'm on a road to glory as well. So I'm using a team with no financial investment.
Wow, bad
So
foul.
it's a team that any of you guys that are watching can attain.
Yeah, what does that mean? Road to glory?
Road to glory means you didn't put anything behind. No financial investment, no FIFA points, no packs.
No financial investment.
Yeah.
That's
I
so
feel-
funny to hear. It sounds like
I feel like I'm talking to college.
Well, I'm just saying,
college
like,
or some shit.
I loaded up the game. I went into Ultimate Team the same way that any of you guys, go into Ultimate Team.
How else would you have done it?
A lot of people put a lot of money into the game. They make
Okay.
these different investments to build up their team. So the reason I bring that up is you're not going to see the likes of the Neymars, the Mbappes, the Cristiano Ronaldos. I don't have that many
gotcha.
of the
The
big name
Manolasas,
players.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm relying on Rashford to kill the game.
I see all your
my
every
God.
thumbnail's about Rashford. and
Rashford is
stuff.
the greatest
He's great.
player. First weekend, he scored over 50 goals for me.
What
It's
the
not clickbait. I see you putting like Rashford and Ronaldo. He's like there.
Is
He's
he
like
that
that
good?
For the attackers, it's like Mbappe's, Cristiano, and Rashford.
Really? Wow.
Same category almost.
Don't tell Ryan
I'd
that.
rather have CR7 and I'd rather have Mbappe, but other than that, he's there. I tweeted out yesterday, and I did not make people happy with this tweet, but I put Rashford ahead of Neymar. If you're playing him as a striker, I would much rather have Rashford than Neymar at the end
Wow.
of the game. I mean, Neymar is a center attacking mid or a winger, fine. But Rashford's is absolutely incredible.
Lazio free kick, Savage shot, hits
right
the
into the
wall.
wall.
Oh, I want a handball.
You would think Ronaldo shot that.
Vinny Merck said he watched that video yesterday. Guys, if you're into FIFA, you have to be following Mike everywhere, especially on YouTube. To be honest, when I won my little tournament, I was binge watching all of your videos, getting any tips possible.
Is that a handball?
That might be
he
a handball.
jumped, it hit his hand.
Oh,
Let's see.
if you're looking to up your FIFA game, you also have a Patreon, which I think I might have to subscribe to and
You gonna
start.
join the FIFA school?
The FIFA school with our boy George. They'll get your game up. I've seen you guys posting reviews that people have gotten better, and I even see in our chat a lot of people, since we have a good crossover of people saying that they've joined yours and they've instantly gotten better. I think Clifford. I think Clifford was the one that I remember that joined them and said he's gotten a lot better.
To me, you're guaranteed to improve. I mean, I have the bias that George and I have put together this program, but it's dynamic as well. So we're not giving you a one-off of a guide to play FIFA. The game changes. You get new patches. You get updates. You got new players. We go through all of that. You're looking at comparing your squads and personalizing a lot of the customization. It's all there. And I think it's really important if you're looking to improve in FIFA. A lot of people get to a point and they kind of level off. And once you got to that point that you're leveling off, you have to start making adjustments that aren't always comfortable. For example, let's say that you're always struggling with breaking down your opposition in the final third.
Yeah.
If you don't make changes or learn new skills or learn how to unlock that space, you're always going to struggle in that same area. It's not going to shift. And that's where a lot of people, I feel like, have to kind of be honest with themselves and reassess what they want, what they need to change, and then what are you going to do about it? Are you going to watch tutorials? Are you going to watch tips? Are you going to talk to some people? Are you going to get involved with streaming? And we're putting up content similar to you guys. I'm daily live streaming and daily YouTubing. So I've just been grinding for the past month and a half, basically right around the new FIFA.
Wow. Okay. So you have a little school over there with George, huh? Trying to make everyone.
Yeah.
I definitely gotta.
George is the youngest professor we know at 20 years old.
Wow.
He's actually turning 21 tomorrow.
Oh, is he? Finally.
Right. My man's getting
Finally.
Can you
turned
guys
up,
come?
right?
How about on Monday? Can you guys come out on Monday? It'll be his birthday.
Sure.
We're gonna go out.
We'll try.
Going out with that guy is always
be good.
a good time.
Yeah, now that he can order drinks legally.
Yeah. We'll see how long it takes him this
I like how
time.
you said legally.
Yeah, legally order drinks.
So what I'm doing right now,
Oh,
Ronaldo hurt.
off. Oh, yeah, looks like he
shit.
got injured
Oh,
for
no.
Dybala.
That is not good. That is not good. Hopefully it's a precaution.
Yeah.
So I'm dropping links to follow Mike LaBelle everywhere. We got his Patreon.
Oh wow, you got a lot of things there. Thank you.
I was writing it up in my notes. We got his Patreon, which if you need to get better at FIFA and want to school your friends and want to have bragging rights over your friends, definitely subscribe to that and get better. His YouTube channel, which I've used as like the gateway towards that.
Yeah, if you guys don't, haven't watched YouTube, start there. It's free. Like
Yeah.
the Patreon is literally for the guys that I want to take my game to the next level. I'm ready to increase my wins. I've already been playing FIFA. Or you want a cheat sheet. You want to get ahead. You want to skip ahead. Go for it.
Yeah, so I would start at that YouTube, and then you're gonna want to like go towards that. I started watching on his over there. Your Twitter, you're actually very funny on Twitter. I like your little social comments on Twitter on like different topics. So we got his Twitter, his Instagram, and then his Twitch where he's streaming. What's your streaming schedule? Do you have a streaming schedule?
Every day.
Every day.
I would say every day, and most streams start after 4 p.m. Eastern.
There we go.
So, but it jumps around a little bit. Like on the weekends, because it's the weekend league, I swear I'm streaming like, it feels like 25 hours every weekend. So it's a wild amount. Like today, I woke up at 5, right? I'll probably stream something after this just so I can get a few hours in. Because I'm 14-1 currently with the weekend league, so I still have 15 games left. And the big mistake I made last weekend, I finished 25-5, which was really disappointing after going 21-0.
Yeah, so disappointing.
I played too many
So
games.
bad.
I played too many games. And we had this new patch, and it just wasn't as favorable for my gameplay, so we've made some different adjustments. And this weekend, I'm kind of taking some risk as well. I have Aaron Long from the New York Red Bulls.
Oh shit! Wow.
Starting with Ike Opara as my 2 center back.
Why are you doing this?
Well, because they both
He's
have.
like, why are you doing that?
They both have upgraded foot items that are really good. They've got increased stats, but it's very challenging to get them into a team and get chemistry. So I have Van der Sar in goal, because I need an icon. And then I have Frank Lampard holding it down in the midfield in order to get full chemistry on these center backs.
Wow. Seems like you got a
You never
project
fail
going
to
on over
surprise
there.
me.
It is a come on, when you get into FIFA, we all get into FIFA because we love the sport.
Yeah.
And then outside of loving the sport, you want to enjoy the game that you're playing.
That's
you want to
true.
have, especially if you got into Ultimate Team, it's about squad building and maybe using players that you really like in real life. Not always the most meta or the best players in the game.
That's true.
So I've tried this hybrid. We'll see how it finishes up this weekend, and then we can complain or compliment.
That's what we did. We would not give up on Gattuso. Everybody was telling us,
Yeah.
get rid of Gattuso last year. But we were just like, listen, we're playing. Mike and I, we're not professionals. We're not like
Speak for
in
yourself,
it.
yeah.
I mean, we want to win and stuff, but we also want to have the guys that we enjoy. Like a lot of people, if you got Conte, you would be so much better. And we're like, that doesn't excite us.
We have
need
that
to be
sentimental
excited
value
into
in
it.
there that keeps us invested in it.
If you guys aren't using a full Serie A team of players that are like played through the Serie A, I'm super disappointed.
No, I
As
mean, we
someone
couldn't
that's
have.
following your content. I don't want to see you play in the Premier
Exactly.
League. I want, please run it up. I want to see you trying to do scoop turns with Baggio. Like,
Exactly.
Give me a little
Del Piero
nice.
was-
Yeah,
was
exactly.
amazing.
You were asking me. You asked me about
Yeah.
Del Piero last year a lot. I said he's actually really good. I really enjoyed Del
He
Piero.
was phenomenal.
Yo, he scored
He was
I think he
phenomenal.
scored every single fucking game that we played with him. That guy was
For us, that's how it has to be. And I know people,
was
they're
broken.
like, no, just switch this, get that for a different player, but we couldn't. The only time we have is in drafts. Because in drafts, you're like, all right, you're trying to fight for the death. And like everybody, you don't get that many great options.
Also, you can't just say, hey, I'd like Serie A only. That's
Yeah,
not how the
exactly.
draft works.
Exactly.
So you got to take kind of what's given to you, what's provided. If you guys in the chat played a weekend league, what's your record currently? Let us know like how you've been doing in the game. And also, what players really stood out for you in FIFA? I'd love to know if they kind of align to real life.
Scream
It doesn't
Insigne?
always work that way.
You like Scream
There
Insigne?
was no Scream this year. They got rid of it.
No.
They did rule breakers.
It was it was a little
He was
inside
great
joke.
last year.
It was a little inside joke with us. I see them commenting Scream Insignia. I saw it before too. They were like, tell LaBelle about Scream Insignia. So we kept saying like a player to get, and for some reason everybody was obsessed with Scream Insignia.
He was really good last year.
But I don't know why, for some reason like we just didn't want to get him. I think it was commented like way too much, or we loved like the guys that we had and we never wanted to get him. But it became a joke, and we ended up naming like our playlist on Spotify Scream Insignia. Like everything was like about Scream Insignia.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, the most overrated player in FIFA 21 is Martial. Do not buy Martial.
Really?
Absolutely terrible.
How about Serie A? Who's overrated and who's underrated? If they're looking to add one Serie A player to their team, no way.
Wow, I had it right to
That's a big
Szczesny,
miss.
bro.
That's a big
Marusic.
miss, Marusic.
Wow.
Obviously, if you can afford CR7,
Okay.
that's pretty obvious.
Give some budget
I got
friendly.
you. I'm going through. I got a list. I like both the center backs this year with Koulibaly and Manolas.
Okay.
Both good.
That's in our team.
Quadrado has an upgraded foot item that is game changing for him because it basically increases defense a lot. So now he has the skills and all these wingback characteristics that we compliment because he comes from being a winger. But his defense is like an 80 or something on the foot item, which is really good for Quadrado. Usually that's a big detriment for him. In this year in particular, you need to be able to get out of the back. Your fullbacks are really important to be a part of that. So I really enjoy him. I've used Raja a decent amount. I find Nainggolan to be of really good value and also super cheap. If he was in a different league or played even for a different club, he would be much more expensive. Usually at the beginning of FIFA, he's not somebody that comes in on a discount. Papa Gomez, very popular. Already has an inform as well this season.
He has crazy stats, huh?
He's just really good. He's a true number 10. He's able to wiggle and work with the best of them. Dybala to me is still missing something. Lautero's missing something. Lukaku is Lukaku. Lukaku hates FIFA, I'm pretty sure at this point.
Yeah.
If you look at his Twitter, he's like, what do I have to do to increase my rating? He's got a great case.
We also, when we were playing FIFA, everybody kept telling us about Immobile. He's cracked. To be honest, we didn't like him.
No,
we
Immobile
played with
in
him.
FIFA is not the real
We do
deal.
not like him.
Probably
We
one of the
hated
more
him.
overrated guys. He's high rated, but the reason I don't consider him overrated because statistically, how it's allocated, I could tell you before even playing with him that he doesn't fit the game properly.
You know who we liked, or who at least we scored a lot of goals with? Chicho Caputo. We had an informed Chicho Caputo.
That is an
You know him?
interesting, yes, but I'm surprised that's been a killer for you.
Yo, he scored so many. He was just always in the right position.
Yeah, like
Hernandez,
inform, right?
Hernandez,
Theo?
is
Theo, yeah, we had Theo.
Hernandez is fantastic.
Love that.
Let's see if I can get our team. up
I like Mertens
Radar.
a lot. Mertens is also stellar.
think
I've
we
always
have him.
enjoyed him. Chat, tell us who you guys been using. Serie A, FIFA. Are we missing any names here that we
Hakimi
definitely?
too, was he
yeah,
solid?
Hakimi has a one to watch as well as foot item.
Okay.
He's an interesting player because I really like Hakimi, but I don't really want him as a winger. I'd really rather have him as a fullback. So that's kind of where it gets a little more debatable.
Yeah, that's
I think we're playing him on like 7 chem or something as a
Yeah.
right back. Which some people tell us that's good. Some people tell us you can't do that. Let's try to pop our team up over here.
Not related to the Serie A anymore, but I would also give a big shout out to Florenzi. If you're using his inform, which is really cheap, that guy is built to be just a superb center mid, actually.
Really?
Center
yeah,
mid.
Yeah, I play him as a center
He's
mid.
been playing good for. He's been starting for PSG, which is really good. I right back, obviously. but
center mid.
I play him as a start. He's a center mid for me. I
For
really
Roma, he
enjoy him.
did play more in the midfield, actually.
Look,
so.
look at his. Pull up the stats, man. You need to see this foot item. If you're talking about center mid, you're surprised.
I don't know.
Go. He's got an inform. He's an 84 overall, and I mean his balance stats are crazy.
How the hell do I see my team? How do I access the team over here?
If you're not seeing what we're seeing, basically Marco's trying to sign in. It's not working for him.
I mean,
He
I'm
doesn't remember-
signed in,
he
but
doesn't
where do
remember
I
his
go?
password.
No, I have my
Can
password.
we just send? Can we send a notification to Mike? He loves notifications.
I got loads of them.
No, like, look, I'm on EA, but isn't there like a sign in?
Hold on, I want to also mention I was promised
God damn
breakfast
it.
if I got up this early. There's
We're
been
gonna get-
breakfast.
listen,
I see nothing.
The game's gonna end. We're
Yeah.
gonna. I tried to get donuts before.
We have a continental breakfast on the way. So
We've got a Greek donut shop that makes very nice.
emphasis on the Greek, guys. Mike's like, okay, whatever.
So it's Manolas's donut shop.
Yeah,
Still
exactly.
has his donut shop.
Yeah.
Yo, can you help me out with this?
Well, I don't know how to help you sign. I don't know your information.
I'm
I don't know
signed
your
in,
password, bro.
I'm signed in. How do I see my team? Isn't
Okay.
there a way to access your team
Yes.
online?
Do you have the app, like the companion app?
No.
Companion.
There's an app for a computer?
Well, yeah. Usually people get on the app. Do you want me to direct
FIFA
this for
companion
you?
app?
That's fine. FIFA 21 companion app.
I'm new to this.
Web app. Put web app. It'll go right in for you. Web app got you.
Web app.
This noob.
Marco needs other class
Launch
before
web
signing
app.
up for the FIFA one.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Marco needs other class.
If you don't know
before
how
he
to
signs
sign,
up.
I need a Patreon for how to
yeah,
get
if you don't know how to
into
sign in.
Marco
it's
doesn't
just
know
part
his
of the
password.
FIFA
He has a little bell what his password is. Crazy stuff
Yeah.
over here.
It's like his password is not Bernadeschi, excuse me, 1234
God damn it.
with a
This
couple
isn't
caps.
Mykonos, Marco. Come on.
Thank you. Oh man.
I met Murata, by the way.
You did?
That is-
Yeah, I met
seems
him
like a nice fella.
For what?
a couple years ago when he was playing at the Atletico.
Oh, okay.
He was in town for the All-Star game, so I guess last year actually maybe
Okay.
in Orlando.
Really?
Yeah, he came to do a 2v2 in FIFA. Wasn't a great FIFA player.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, Atletico. Yeah,
Yeah,
when he was on
yeah.
Atletico. I was
yeah,
thinking
they were in
Chelsea.
town for that matchup. But yeah.
How did you see him?
Yeah, he seemed like a really nice guy. I didn't get a lot of conversation with him, so it wasn't as if I wasn't in that 2v2, but he was there.
Okay.
You know who's a really nice guy is Nani.
Nice.
I've done a
Really?
couple things with him. Nani was a
Oh,
really, really
nice.
nice guy.
Cool.
Okay.
Seems cool.
I'm
He's
almost
at
there.
Orlando now, right?
Yeah.
He's beasting over there.
Yeah, he's been performing really well. But he should. I mean, he's another world-class
Yeah,
player. I know he's in the
that's
later stages of his career, but Nani's a special guy.
That's true.
Okay, I got our team.
Thank you. All right. You want me to review what you
Yes,
got
I want
going
you to
on?
review.
So
So
I'm happy to see Mertens in this team.
we're looking
I
at
have that Tonali as well.
we're looking at a 4-4-2. We've got Donnarumma in net. Ones to watch Hakimi, Koulibaly, Manolas, and Theo. And then the four in the midfield, we got it's a 4-2-2-2. Nainggolan and Tonali as the two holding midfielders. The two cams are Mertens and Pablo Gomez, and then up top Lautaro and Chicho Caputo.
It's not a bad team. I think the biggest issue is strikers, maybe. Like where you're going to play your strikers. Mertens, to me, is a really high-end
I
striker.
thought you were going to say the biggest issue is you guys playing with them.
Yeah.
That too. That was coming. That was coming.
That was my next portion of that. You know, once you figure out your password to get into the squad,
Yeah, it took a,
now it's like whatever you're gonna do with
Only
your
took a
hands
half an
on the
hour.
sticks.
yeah, exactly.
You know, I'm thinking about making instead of an OnlyFans an Only Hands. If you guys want to get involved in that,
That sounds like your little foot massage place, like a little.
I'm
back
joining
end.
them. I'll be your first customer.
we're active.
sure you
we're
will.
active at 3 a.m.
But so what would you do? What would you do to fix this team?
I don't mind your team right now. I mean, there's definitely a couple upgrades. I don't know where you go with a lot of the strikers.
Yeah, look
I don't
at
love-
that bank, 143K.
Yeah, that's actually a lot of money for Serie A.
Yeah,
Because a lot of the players aren't that expensive.
That's what I'm talking about. And we got crazy like guys in the bench. We packed we had some crazy packs and we sold like big guys for a lot of money. This is
I
like a
think
month ago.
Quadrado's coming on for me instead of Hakimi.
Really,
Yes.
really.
Yes.
How about strikers? You would get rid of?
I don't really love Lautaro. It's a tough league for the strikers. I usually play Mertens as my guy.
So
up
put
front.
Mertens up top, and then who
But
do
then
we
you still
put?
got to figure out somebody else that's gonna be able to run because you're running a 4-2-2.
I mean, we could change the formation.
Gomez and you've got.
We don't know shit about
Mertens.
shit, man.
Yeah.
He's like, I know. You don't have to tell me that. I know.
I would love to get a Del Piero or somebody in there, but
It's funny, man. I used Muriel a little bit this year. He has a new foot item as well. He got a
really,
road to the final, so UCL item. I mean, that's a definite pickup.
Your boy's coming on, Bernardeschi from Morata.
Bernadeschi.
It's weird. This game started out kind of offensive, and we're
Yeah,
saying, okay,
it's-
it's gonna be back and forth. It really turned into a much
Yeah.
lower scoring affair. Not that many opportunities. Let's see what the chat's saying. Serie A, let's see what the chat's got going for us. So yeah, it's time for you to bring icons on. See, they're with me as well. Muriel, the road to the final striker. That item just came out Friday, and I would recommend that in a heartbeat. But I've always liked Muriel in FIFA. He's kind of a FIFA legend. In real life, he's been a consistent pro, but in FIFA, he's been for 7-8 years now, like a actual feature. When we talk overpowered early on teams, super sub of dreams, Muriel's that guy.
Mike sounds like he's got a foot massage notification.
No, I saw what Sergio
Tell
said.
us.
Oh God,
Don't be lying reading this.
No, it's right here. Sergio.
He's like, hey, do you watch the Serie A? Do you watch the
Are you
Serie
guys
A?
open
Do you
at
watch the
7:30
Serie A?
a.m.?
Will you go to a foot massage with me?
Can you
Like,
put
I can see
Atalanta
his phone.
Inter
There's
on?
nothing on his phone. Like, can we get a back end?
My
Like, the
phone's
chat-
dead, by the way. My
The
phone's
chat
dead.
is right here. Like, he doesn't need the phone at all.
Mike, say your
Sergio said
comment.
Bernardeschi is about to give Lazio some hope. Coming on over here.
Yeah, probably.
Look how he's staring at this phone. You know that there's a view on there. He's going through IG right now, saying, Greek question mark. He's trying to bring a Greek woman back.
Can I show you? By the way, let me find this. Oh, look at Bernadeschi on the goal for Juventus in the Champions League. He lost the ball. He's standing watching the other team's player with his hands behind his back. I would never let this guy even touch the Juventus
with
jersey
his
again.
hands behind
with
his
his hands
back
behind his
is
back, and he's the
incredible.
one who lost the ball.
Is incredible.
What
He
a
lost.
legend.
Period.
Mike,
As a
what a
go-to
legend.
stance.
What a legend.
Mark, I didn't even take that as a joke. This guy's giving me
don't think this is a joke.
the stink eye.
By the way, we did a Halloween episode. I know you caught like a little bit of it, but I don't know if you saw all of it. Michael dressed up as Wanda Nara. I don't know if you-
Icardi's wife / agent.
It was
Super
that,
agent.
That episode did so
We
well.
watched some
It's our
of it-
greatest podcast
We watched
ever.
some of it on our live stream.
I think so.
Because
Oh.
like a lot of the IFTV guys came in and they're like, "Have you guys seen this Halloween thing that's going on?" I was like, "Nah, of course I'm streaming right now. I haven't." It's like go over
Bro,
there
we
and I saw
died.
y'all's outfit and I was like, or outfits, and I was like, "Wow, this is quite the Halloween." And then I thought to myself, "Damn, I didn't even get an invite." You know, I try to hang out with these guys. I was like, "Hey, Mike, Marco, let's get together. I've got gifts for you. I've got presents. I'm trying to buy my way in right now just to get time with you two."
We just keep blocking
And
you.
then you're saying, "Okay, Mike, I'm free on Sunday at 5 a.m. What do you think?" I'm like, "Well, it's a tough time."
After
so
my
I especially-
massage. After my
Yeah, I
massage.
mean, I'm gonna be sweating via FIFA late at night, but sure, I'll be there. Whatever you want.
I thought
Marco
that would have
or
pushed
Mike.
you away. I was like, shit, man. We weren't even expecting
So
you to say
disappointed.
yes.
So disappointed.
Mike, did you see the Apple skit for the Wanda? Or
No.
no? Okay,
Watch
I
it.
gotta show you.
Oh my God, you are not a woman that I would look forward to seeing.
He's a woman you'd find at the foot massage place.
Watch Anto's reaction.
Yeah, that podcast was the most fun I've ever had. That was by far the greatest podcast episode that we've ever
Yeah,
had.
that's pretty funny.
Everybody dressed up to a T. Like
Mike,
everybody had
you
so much
believe
fun.
I went in 4th place with what I was dressed up in.
We did a costume
I
contest.
thought
We
I was
made
gonna
him
win
vote.
hands
Who
down.
won?
My dad ended up winning. But it
Unbelievable.
wasn't just about the costume, it's how you
Portrayed
acted
it,
as a
huh?
character.
Yeah.
And my dad the entire match was acting as Sadi. He was taking notes throughout the entire thing.
I don't know.
We honestly had so much fun. And what's
Your
hilarious
dad is underrated. 'Cause he doesn't say a lot
Yeah.
of times, but when he
Yeah.
does speak, it's always of good
Yeah,
value.
he's good.
He adds good insight. He's definitely a pundit or an analyst. He knows the history really well, as he should. But your dad is an underrated component.
he
Shout out to Marco's father.
He loved being Saudi. I think he enjoyed it way too much. What's so funny is that we told everybody about this, and Anton's like, I'm not dressing up. My dad was like, I'm not gonna get dressed. Like everybody was so mad. They were both like, can we do this again? They're like, can we do this when it's not Halloween? So we had an
Well, that makes
incredible
so much
time.
sense because we didn't have a traditional Halloween. At least none of us. I don't think
Yeah.
like there was no going out. Usually, Halloween is one of those. I don't even know if I want to call it a holiday, an event. It's not really a holiday, but it's a time of the year that I really look forward to because the partying and the going out and everybody gets to kind of be this different person and it's fun, it's easygoing. But of course, with the world
Oh my
being
gosh, what a bad miss from Danilo.
Uh-oh.
Danilo.
Uh-oh.
Danilo.
Oh.
I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, that could have
Okay.
cost
I didn't realize it's 93rd minute.
Yeah, it looks like he was gonna get the dub.
But yeah, with the world being different, I feel like what you guys put together on the podcast was a great way of still having that moment and capturing that moment and making the most of it. It was really funny.
I was a little bit concerned. I was like, I don't know how people are going to react to this. I didn't know how we were going to do as like acting the part, but everybody bought into it and it was one of the most well-received podcasts that we've ever had. And it's also a good example of like what we try to do is like we try to have fun. Like we do have serious things that we talk about, but at the same time, like if we're not having fun with it, if we're not laughing, if we're not joking, like it's not us.
Well, that's something I love about the community that you guys have built is it's very authentic across the board. It feels like you're watching the game with one of the boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is kind of what you go for, right? Like we come from that background. It's the same with playing FIFA. Even with a lot of my stream, I aim for the same type of vibe where it's like you're playing FIFA with the boys.
Exactly.
You're able to sit back, relax, have the conversations you want to have. Not everything's about gaming.
Exactly.
Same with like not everything's about football for you guys, but it's a lot of it. It's still the basis of the majority of the content. But I definitely think you guys have built something really special and authentic, and it's an outlet. A lot of people.
Dybala. How the hell do you kick that out? He's by himself.
Come on, you're 10 seconds, man.
Oh, that was a
I think
bad
that's
one.
why also your content is well received by at least me and Michael because we're not really gamers, but like you've kind of made it to like it's more understanding.
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
Dybala's gonna be murdered. Dybala will. Dybala! Mannaggia miseria, Dybala! Mannaggia miseria! Mannaggia miseria!
Caicedo
You
again!
freaking idiot!
Caicedo gets the equalizer. He scores against Juventus again.
Dybala!
In the 94th
Dybala!
minute.
You have the ball!
last
Hold it for
play.
10 seconds,
This
Dybala!
is unbelievable.
Or send it deep. Send it deep.
Dybala just gave Lazio the draw. He was
How?
by himself and dribbles it out incredible from
Unbelievable,
Lazio fighting to the
Dybala.
last second.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
That is-
Juve had this game wrapped up.
Caicedo is ridiculous.
Caicedo is a beast. Whenever he comes on, he always makes a difference.
He
This
scored
guy's
the-
on a different level.
Hey, credit to him too. Correa,
mean-
beautiful.
Bentancur,
Nutmeg of dreams.
Bentancur.
Caicedo just went
Bentancur,
through
you
two-
got
that
nutmeg
was
like an idiot.
Incredible.
Rabiot, another idiot.
Wow,
Oh my
that
God,
was
they're
an
all
incredible
idiots.
turn by Caicedo.
These
wow.
guys are all idiots.
Lazio steal it at the end. Incredible.
These guys are all.
Yo, that was on Dybala.
I mean-
that was on Dybala.
No, but even Bentancur,
That's-
how the hell do you get
But yo,
nutmeg like that?
was
and
by
Robbie
himself.
and
Dybala was
Rabiot.
by himself and he
What?
dribbled it.
What are you
out.
guys doing?
Dybala was by himself.
You're in. There's 10
Wow.
seconds left. How do you allow these guys to dribble
Wow.
past you? Unbelievable.
Wow.
1 point from all that. 1 point after all of that. Serie A is never. It's always exciting. Jesus Christ.
It's wild because you guys defended so well in the second half as well. There really weren't many chances. We talked about Lazio looking better with maybe some of their composure and just build up on the final third, but they didn't have breakthroughs. They didn't have opportunities.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe that.
That is ridiculous. That was so.
Wow. Yo, that was a wrapped up Juve 3-point. That was
But
horrible.
Dybala, you're running out. There was about I think 12 seconds left in the match. You lose your dribble. Number one, hold the damn ball.
There was no one on him.
Any player goes into the corner,
Or they draw
holds
a
the
foul.
ball.
Like,
Yeah,
because
draw a
people are
foul.
playing very aggressive. You make the referee make a
Come
decision.
on,
That was
man.
bad.
That is so bad.
That was really
kick it
bad.
long. If you're about to lose
Yeah,
it, kick it
that was
long.
bad. That was
Let
bad.
Pepe Reina take a goal kick.
Wow.
You don't give them a throw in inside your own half.
was really bad.
Come on, man. You just came in. You just came in.
That was really bad from Dybala.
When you talked about smart decision making and high IQ, I mean, you can't blame everything on Dybala there, but it's an easy way you could have seen out the game.
Come on.
That was-
you
that was
seen out the
really-
game.
that was
After
really bad.
everything that was done to get
There was
away.
no time left.
But Caicedo is ridiculous.
He
We
is.
literally said that
Yeah.
he comes off the bench. So last
He
match,
shifted the whole game because he came off the
Dude,
bench.
he's so
second
much
half,
better
than
looked
Muriqi.
So much better. His
So much
build-up,
better.
His
Yeah.
layoffs. He's a presence in the box. He also wins a lot of things in the air. I mean, we didn't really see him get on the end of any crosses, but that's
He
something
does.
that he has in his game. That he is definitely a physical specimen. That he has an aerial pursuit. He can win a 50-50. He can win a flick on. He gives you a little more of that physical presence. It's a beautiful turn.
100%.
All credit.
that was
100%.
incredible. Yeah. And
Did
that
you-
Correa.
Do you know what happened in Torino Lazio?
Wow.
Their last match?
Tell me.
Torino was up 3-2 in the 94th minute.
Okay.
3-2. 95th minute, Lazio get a penalty kick. They score. So it's 3-3. 98th minute, this guy comes and he scores. And they win 4-3. That's like ridiculous. And Torino scored the 3-2 in like the 88th minute. So from like the 85th, it was like 2-2 and it ended 4-3 for Lazio. Caicedo also I don't know if it's the last match, but last year Caicedo came on and scored late against Juventus.
He definitely has late goals in him. That's been something that
Lazio
we've seen
in
the
general,
highlights all the
too.
time.
I think there was a stat last week. I think he scored 7 game winners for Lazio since the last year. Since last year, I think he had 7.
He's a super sub. He's a definition of a super sub.
I
dude.
forgot. They gave him an exact amount of points that he's won for Lazio. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but now the stat is definitely going to update and we'll find it. Chad, I don't know what everybody's thinking right now. Unbelievable that it ended 1-1.
No one expected
Not the
that.
greatest of matches. I thought it was going to be more exciting. What I think it was going to do, I think we're going to take a little break, go grab some breakfast.
In 30
and stuff.
minutes, we're gonna be live for the
so we're
Atalanta
stopping,
Inter
we're
match.
gonna re-
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
we're gonna stop it.
We got to stop it so that this stream could stay.
And then
we'll
put
start
a
another
new
one.
title
Got
for the
it.
new
Yeah,
video.
new title and
Yeah.
something.
Well, do this for us, guys. If you have not this far, please subscribe first. If whatever platform you're on, drop a follow, drop a subscription, and then especially if you're on YouTube and you haven't dropped a like on the video, hit the boys up with a like. It's free to do so. It definitely means something to like this going out to a larger audience. The last thing I was going to say as well is that you guys promote this and kind of about the vibe that you guys have, the atmosphere that's here, is promoting Calcio and really being able to connect the world to Calcio. And I feel like a lot of people are coming back into the Serie A in general because of the content that you're putting out on all these different platforms. They're saying, okay, now I have a community that I can interact with, even more so in the U.S. too, because I've talked about it on numerous occasions, but I felt like I was part of the Serie A golden era. We're talking about the mid-2000s, the late 2000s, where you have all the big-name players kind of dominating European football, and then a lot shifted in the following 10 years, not just with the players that came in and left and the results internationally, but I feel like the Serie A was slow to adapt to
100%.
To English speakers.
For sure.
And it was harder to get the games. It was harder to get somebody that was talking about the games in my native language, which makes it more difficult for, of course, hitting that Western audience. And then a lot of people turned to the Premier League. And they said Premier League, Premier League, Premier League. And I think we saw that transition. And I feel like you guys have really done a good job reconnecting. And then also connecting new fans to Calcio as well, where they maybe weren't as involved or they didn't have that community to go and talk to each other about. Because you kind of need that.
Yeah, 100%.
When you're watching the sport, like, especially if you're American, for example, I can't just walk around here and have conversations about the Serie A.
Exactly.
I can talk Premier League a little bit.
Basketball,
Depends.
football.
You always
American
have like
football.
opening questions, right? It's like, oh, you watch football. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you have a follow-up. Who do you support? Then you have a follow-up. Did you catch the game this last weekend? Oh, you haven't caught any games this month. Okay, now we can't have a conversation. But now I know. But the Serie A is even more difficult in the U.S. to have that type of questions here and there. Think about it. Think about you guys' knowledge of the Serie A. Who are you going to talk to about it if you didn't build a community?
You're right.
No, 100%. That's what it's all been all about for us, and that's true. And also, I would need some appreciation for the pronunciation on Calcio. Oh man, we've come a long way.
You've come a long way.
You know the Paul Rudd meme where it's like, look at us, look how far we've come.
Who expected this?
It was like Calcio, and now it's Calcio. I like it.
It is Dirty Mike, clean, dirty. Mike LaBelle is here in the flesh.
I like that you started bringing back the Dirty Mike.
Yeah, I like it. Every Saturday, Dirty Mike comes on stream. I think of doing push-ups.
Saturday at 3 a.m. sharp.
Yeah, I'm telling you, every Saturday I'm in a cutoff. I wear a headband.
Do you really?
I do. Yeah, I do. I will do a workout every time I concede a goal.
What kind of workout?
10 push-ups, 10
Nice.
sit-ups.
Nice.
Yeah.
Every Saturday.
Yo, I'd be jacked if that was my fucking.
Dirty Mike. All right. Is that the same Dirty Mike that goes to get the foot massage at 3 a.m.?
Whatever.
That's filthy.
This
Mike.
guy. This dirty. Look, on Saturday anything can happen. You know, any other day of the week, it's okay. It's a pretty clean activity. But on Saturday, no showers. Right, like it's
You're
nasty.
giving us a little too much
Like
right now.
I'll put like what's the face paint? I'll put
Yeah,
some
like in
face paint
football?
under there. I'm
Yeah,
getting
the
serious
mud,
with
what's
it.
that
You know,
shit
you
called?
want me to throw mud your way? I'll toss mud at
That's
you. It's
funny.
whatever. You want some dirty cleats? I got a couple pairs of those. Whatever. We could do a giveaway for some dirty cleats. But anyways, guys, drop some love on the way out. We'll be back in a half hour. Apparently, I'm getting my breakfast that was promised, so I'm very happy about that. We appreciate you guys. I'm looking forward to the next match. I hope there's more goals, even though they did have a
100%.
fantastic finish.
Guys,